Dang it, no, I still had this habit of every time I start stream, I use my inhaler. I like hit my inhaler and drink some water. I think that means like in my brain, I cognitively think of streaming as exercise, which is ridiculous and not a reflection of reality. All right, hello and welcome back to the Quiet Part YouTube channel once again. We are continuing our series of live streams where I seek to read the entire New International Version, English translation of the Bible, the Christian Bible, the Catholic Bible, whatever you want to call it. I know it's not the Jewish Bible. I know that because that's the Torah. So, and the Catholic one is probably in Greek or something, or some weird language, Latin, Greek, something like that. I don't know. This is the New International Version of the Bible. I'm reading it because it's funny. I'm reading it because it's informative. I'm reading it because it is good for me to learn about other religions and cultures. I'm starting with the Bible because it's familiar. And I guess it's relevant right now because we have like a Christian nationalist federal administration here in the United States. So, you know, it's relevant for understanding current politics, historical politics, future politics, and the word politics isn't even that useful. It's good for understanding culture. So I thought it would be valuable for me to read the entire Bible, put my money where my mouth is, become more literate, become more worldly, and do something that even a lot of actual Christians don't do, which is read their damn document that they're supposed to read. Noting, of course, that I myself am an atheist and am not spiritual whatsoever. All right, let's jump in. We are on page 293. I'm going to get us started, and in the meantime, we are playing a game called Don't Starve.
12 These are the decrees and laws.
Oh, way too fast.
You must be careful to follow in the land that the Lord, the God of your fathers, has given you to possess as long as you live in the land. To destroy completely all the places on the high mountains and on the hills and under every spreading tree where the nations you are dispossessing worship their gods. 3. Break down their altars, smash their sacred stones and burn their Asherah poles.
Okay, so
cut down the idols.
The Israelites are pretty much officially out of the Arabian desert. They're fully out of Egypt by now, or wherever they are. They're out of the desert. They're on their way to their promised land. They've stopped at a couple of semi-promised lands on the way. And now Moses and Joshua are really reinforcing what the new rules are for once they get to their promised land and establish their place, their nation, probably is the word that this would use. So it's all just about what are the rules for once we get there, or now that we're there.
Everything you have put your hand to, because the Lord your God has blessed you. 8. You are not to do as we do here today, everyone as he sees fit. 9. Since you have not yet reached the resting place,
yeah, they're not there yet.
The Lord your God is giving you.
They have to cross
10,
the Jordan River first, I think.
Jordan and settle in the land the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, and he will give you rest from all your enemies around you so that you will live in safety. 11. Then to the place the Lord your God will choose as a dwelling for his name, there you are to bring everything I command you, your burnt offerings and sacrifices, your tithes and special gifts, and all the choice possessions you have vowed to the Lord. 12. And there rejoice before the Lord your God.
Okay, I'm happy I'm figuring out some of the buttons.
Daughters, your men servants
light,
and servants, and the Levites from your
a fire pit,
who have no allotment or inheritance of
extraordinary. Let's get mining.
13. Be careful not to sacrifice your burnt offerings anywhere you please. 14. Offer them only at the place the Lord will choose in one of your tribes.
Am I in the nest of that tall bird thing?
15. Nevertheless, you may slaughter your animals in any of your towns and eat as much of the meat as you want, as if it were gazelle or deer, according to the blessing the Lord your God gives you. Both the ceremonially unclean and the clean may eat it. 16. But you must not eat the blood.
Again,
out on the ground
so
like
God
water.
has this supremacy of we don't eat blood though, we just sacrifice
17.
it.
You must not eat in your own towns the tithe of your grain and new wine and oil, or the firstborn of your herds and flocks, or whatever you have vowed to give, or your freewill offerings or special gifts. 18 Instead,
Pine
you are
cone,
to eat
pine
them in
cone.
the presence of the Lord your God at the place the Lord your God will choose you, your sons and daughters, your menservants and maidservants, and the
No
Levites
wood, that's
from your
crazy.
towns, and you are to rejoice before the Lord your God in everything you put your hand to.
Have I roasted any
19
seeds
Be
yet?
careful
No.
not to neglect the Levites as long as you live in your land. 20 When the Lord your God has enlarged your territory as he promised you, and you crave meat and say,
I would like some meat.
I would like
Then you
some
may eat
meat,
as much of it
then
as you
may
want.
eat as much of it as you want. 21 If the place where the Lord your God chooses to put his name is too far away from you, you may slaughter animals from the herds and flocks the Lord has given you, as I have commanded you, and in your own towns you may eat as much of them as you want. 22 Eat them as you would gazelle or deer. Both the ceremonially unclean
That hurt
and the
me.
clean may
Okay,
eat.
do not do that.
23 But be sure you do not eat the blood, because the blood is the life, and you
Okay, I
must
can cook
not
a bunch
eat
of
the life
carrots.
with the meat.
Do not eat
24 You
because
must
the
not
life
eat
is
the
the
blood,
sacrifice to
pour it
God
out on
always.
the ground like water. 25 Do
So
not
make a
eat
well
it,
with you and
so
your
that it
children
may go
after
well
you,
with you and
because
your
you'll be doing what
children
is right in the
after
eyes of the Lord. Okay.
Because you will be doing what is right in the eyes of the Lord. 26 But take your consecrated things and whatever you have vowed to give, and go to the place the Lord will choose. 27
Can
Present
I
your burnt
plant
offering
trees
from the
in
altar
this
of the Lord your
area?
God, both the meat and the blood. The blood of your sacrifices must be poured beside the altar of the Lord your God, but you may eat the meat. 28 Be careful to obey all these regulations I am giving you, so that it may always go well with you and your children after you, because you will be doing what is good and right in the eyes of the Lord your God. 29 The Lord your God will cut off before you the nations you are about to invade and dispossess. But when you have driven them out and settled in their land. 30 And after they have been destroyed before you, be careful not to be ensnared by inquiring about their gods, saying, how do these nations serve their gods?
Yeah, so I mean,
We
this
will
is
do
kind
the
of
same.
fundamentally like the genocide gameplay
31
loop.
You must not worship the Lord your God in their
You
way,
have to like
because in
destroy the other
worshiping their
culture's
God, they do
culture.
all kinds of detestable things the Lord hates. They even burn their sons and daughters in the fire as
Like, I hate to say it,
sacrifices
but
to their
like
gods.
reading the Bible is just making me realize that
32
like
See that you
Christianity
do
is a
all I
fundamentally
command you. Do not
hateful
add to it or
thing.
take away from it.
You can't call like the
13 If a
destruction of other
prophet,
people's
or one who
cultures
foretells
anything other than hateful.
by dream,
There's no such thing as
appears among
supremacy
you
that
and
is
announces
kind,
to you a
and the Bible
miraculous
is
sign
supreme
or
because
wonder.
God is
2 And
biased
if
to
the
a certain
sign or
people.
wonder of which he has spoken takes place, and he says, let us follow other gods, gods you have not known, and let us worship them. 3 You must not listen to the words of that prophet or dreamer. The Lord your God is testing you to find out whether you
No, I actually don't have enough gold
love
still.
him with all your heart and with all your soul. For it is the Lord your God you must
I'm sure,
follow,
like obviously a
and him you
person
must
that's
revere.
indoctrinated into Christian
Keep his
culture
commands and obey him.
from
Serve
childhood
him and
is of
hold
course
fast
going
to
to
him.
see these whole ideas of like
5 That prophet
oh well,
or dreamer must be put to death, because he preached rebellion against the Lord your God,
dreamer,
who brought
huh?
you out of Egypt and redeemed you from the land of slavery. He has tried to turn you from the way the Lord your God
It's the words of
commanded
the
you to
prophet or
follow.
dreamer. Are the dreamer
You must purge the evil
like
from
someone
among
who
you.
had their own prophecy dream?
6 If your very own brother, or your son or daughter, or the wife you love, or your closest friend secretly entices you, saying, let us go and worship other gods, gods that neither you nor your fathers have known. 7 Gods of the peoples around you, whether near or far, from one end of the land to the other. 8 Do not yield to him or listen to him. Show him no pity. Do not spare him or shield him. 9 You must certainly put him to death. Your hand must be the first in putting him to death, and then the hands of all the people.
Like just murder
10
people
Stone
for
him to
doing
death,
things bad.
because he tried to turn you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. 11 Then all Israel will hear and be afraid, and no one among you will do such an evil thing again. 12 If you hear it said about one of the towns the Lord your God is giving you to live in.
If you start now, like I'm thinking
13
about the
That
authors
wicked men
again.
have arisen among
The
you
guy
and
who's
have
writing
led the
these
people of
rules,
their town astray,
I think this
saying,
guy's just a
"Let us go
scammer.
and
He's just a
worship other
grifter.
gods,
And he's
gods
like,
you
we're
have
going to make
not
the
known.
rules that like you have to be exclusive to
14,
ours.
then
Ours
you
is
must
supreme. Ours is the better.
probe and
And I'm
investigate
going to
it
find a way to
thoroughly.
profit off of this.
And if it is true
And it could be something as simple as like, I'm going to profit from this because society's going to become more organized and structured and less chaotic. Sure, someone might have been thinking that, but at the time, I get the feeling it's like a,
people and its livestock.
I need people to buy into this so I can control
16,
them.
gather all the plunder of the town into the middle of the public square and completely burn the town and all its plunder.
It's a
as
tool
whole
for
burnt
passing down
offering to
wisdom,
the
but it's
Lord
very
your God.
clearly also a tool for organizing
It is to remain
society
a
and
ruin
culture.
forever,
But it's
never
not
to be
organizing
rebuilt.
through mutual liberation.
17, none of
I
those
know
condemned things shall be
a
found
deep
in your
believer,
hands, so that the
you
Lord
know,
will turn from his
someone who's
fierce
hearing the
anger. He
voices
will show
would
you
say,
mercy,
actually, it is
have
organizing
compassion
through
on you,
liberation. It's
and
liberating
increase
us
your numbers,
through the
as he
holiness of the
promised
light
on
of God
oath
or
to your
whatever,
forefathers.
right?
18, because you obey
But-
the Lord your God, keeping all his
But
commands
it's still
that
very
I am
clearly
giving
a
you today
tool
and
for
doing
controlling
what is
people.
right in his eyes. 11, you may eat any clean bird. 14, you are the children of the Lord your God. Do not cut yourselves or shave the front of your heads for the dead. 2, for you are a people holy to the Lord your God. Out of all the peoples on the face of the earth, the Lord has chosen you to be his treasured possession. 3, do not eat any detestable thing. For these are the animals
More
you
wood
may
would be
eat,
good.
the ox, the sheep, the goat. 5, the deer, the gazelle, the roe deer, the wild goat, the ibex,
The roe deer?
antelope, and the mountain sheep. 6, you may eat any animal that has a split hoof divided in two and that chews the cud. 7, however, of those that chew the cud or that have a split hoof completely divided you may not eat the camel, the rabbit, or the coney. Although they chew the cud, they do not have a split hoof, they are ceremonially unclean for you. 8, the pig is also unclean, although it has a split hoof, it does not chew the cud. You are not to eat their meat or touch their carcasses. 9, of all the creatures living in the water, you may eat any that has fins and scales. 10, but anything that does not have fins and scales you may not eat, for you it is unclean. 12, but these you may not eat, the eagle, the vulture, the black vulture. 13, the red kite, the black kite, any kind of falcon. 14,
I don't
any
have
kind
boards.
of raven.
Okay.
15, the horned
I don't
owl,
have enough
the
boards.
screech
Okay.
owl,
That's
the gull,
concerning.
any kind of hawk.
But we're about to hit deep nighttime. Not good.
16, the little owl, the great owl, the white owl. 17, the desert owl, the osprey, the cormorant. 18, the stork, any kind of heron, the hoopoe, and the bat. 19, all flying insects that swarm are unclean to you, do not eat them.
Okay.
20,
That means
any
bees,
winged
too.
creature that is clean you may eat.
Any winged creature.
21, do not eat anything you find already dead. You may give it to an alien living in any of your towns, and he may eat it, or you may sell it to a foreigner. But you are a people holy to the Lord your God. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk.
Right. The old don't cook a goat in its mother's
22,
milk thing.
be sure to set aside 1/10 of all that your fields produce each year.
Okay. Always have savings.
23, eat the tithe of your grain, new wine and oil, and the firstborn of your herds and flocks in the presence of the Lord your God at the place he will choose as a dwelling for his name, so that you may learn to revere the Lord your God always. 24, but if that place is too distant and you have been blessed by the Lord your God and cannot carry your tithe, because the place where the Lord will choose to put
Tithe. What does that mean? Meaning Bible. Go back. Go back. Tithing. A tithe or tenth was a requirement of law which the Israelites were to give 10% of the crops they grew and livestock they raised to you set aside 1/10 to give to the church? 10% of the crops and livestock they raised to the temple. Yeah, again, this feels like some dude invented the temple for the sole purpose of scamming people out of their stuff. You know what I mean?
Put his name is so far away. 25 Then exchange your tithe for silver, and take the silver with you and go to the place the Lord your God will choose. 26 Use the silver to buy whatever you like, cattle, sheep, wine or other fermented drink, or anything you wish. Then you and your household shall eat there in the presence of the Lord your God and rejoice. 27 And do not neglect the Levites living in your towns, for they have no allotment or inheritance of their own. 28 At the end of every 3 years, bring all the tithes of that year's produce and store it in your towns. 29 So that the Levites, who have no allotment or inheritance.
Okay, so the reason I'm in right now is super mineral rich. It's super material rich, but it doesn't have.
In your towns may come and eat and be satisfied.
It doesn't have food. That's the current issue I'm going to be facing soon.
15 At the end of every 7 years, you must cancel debts. 2 This is how
Cancel all debts?
Every creditor shall cancel the loan he has made to his fellow Israelite. He shall not require payment from his fellow Israelite or brother, because the Lord's time for canceling debts has been proclaimed. 3 You may require payment from a foreigner, but you must cancel any debt your brother owes you. For however, there should be no poor among you, for in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess as your inheritance, he will richly bless
you. To max out the trees.
5 If only you fully obey the Lord your God and are careful to follow all these commands I am giving you today. 6 For the Lord your God will bless you as he has promised, and you will lend to many nations but will borrow from none.
The US borrows from nations all the time now.
But none will rule over you.
I'm out of sticks.
7
Eat the last of the berries, grab a stick,
in any of the towns of the
and then
land
quickly
the
turn
Lord
that into
your
an
God
axe.
is giving you.
Okay,
Do not be
back to work.
hard-hearted or tight-fisted toward your poor brother. 8 Rather be open-handed and freely lend him whatever he needs. 9 Be careful not to harbor this wicked thought. The 7th year, the year for canceling debts, is near, so that you do not show ill will toward your needy brother and give him nothing. He may then appeal to the Lord.
So canceling debts every 7 years is built into the Bible, but Christians are against canceling student loan debt.
To him and do so without a grudging heart. Then because
that seems noteworthy. That seems very noteworthy to me. That contradiction seems more noteworthy than other contradictions.
11 There will always be poor
I must admit.
in the land. Therefore I command you to be open-handed toward your brothers and toward the poor and needy in your land. 12 If a fellow Hebrew, a man or a woman, sells himself to you and serves you 6 years,
I kind of thought so.
In the 7th year you must let him go free.
I gotta plant more trees,
When you release
probably.
him, do not send him away empty-handed.
I just wanted to plant them closer to my house.
14 Supply him liberally from your flock, your threshing floor and your winepress. Give to him as the Lord your God has blessed you.
I get how there can be left-wing Christians. I get it. I can see cherry-picking in favor of a progressive, pro-human thing from this book. I can see that.
16 But if your servant says to you, I do not want to leave you, because he loves you and your family and is well off with you. 17 Then take an awl and push it through his earlobe into the door, and he will become your servant for life. Do the same for your maidservant. 18 Do not consider it a hardship to set your servant free, because his service to you these 6 years has been worth.
Dang it. Okay, I'm just gonna head back now.
Twice as much as that of a hired hand.
I need to focus on food for a little bit.
The Lord your God will bless you in everything you
Stale.
do. 19 Set apart for the Lord your God every firstborn male of your herds and flocks. Do not put the firstborn of your oxen to work, and do not shear the firstborn of your sheep.
I'm low on sticks. Not good.
20 Each year you and your family are to eat them in the presence of the Lord your God at the place he will choose. 21 If an animal has a defect, is lame or blind, or has any serious flaw, you must not sacrifice it to the Lord your God. 22 You are to eat it in your own towns. Both the ceremonially unclean and the clean may eat it, as if it were gazelle or deer. 23 But you must not eat the blood, pour it out on the ground like water. 16 Observe the month of Abib and celebrate the Passover of the Lord your God, because in the month of Abib he brought you out of Egypt by night. 2 Sacrifice as the Passover to the Lord your God an animal from your flock or herd at the place the Lord will choose as a dwelling for his name. 3. Do not eat it with bread made with yeast, but for 7 days eat unleavened bread, the bread of affliction, because you left Egypt in haste so that all the days of your life you may remember the time of your departure from Egypt. For let no yeast be found in your possession in all your land for 7 days. Do not let any of the meat you sacrifice on the evening of the first day remain until morning. 5. You must not sacrifice the Passover in any town the Lord
What does
your
that do
God
for me?
gives you.
I don't actually know what that does for me at all.
6. Except in the place he will choose
Not even a
as
little.
dwelling
Like, I have
for
no
his
clue.
name. There you must sacrifice the
Okay, I need
Passover
to
in
focus
the
on
evening,
food for a
when the
bit.
sun goes down, on the anniversary of your departure from Egypt.
Okay, nearly max
7.
health.
Roast it and eat it at the place the Lord your God will choose.
I need to figure out how to make basic
Then in
traps.
the morning return to your tents.
Bird trap
8. For
requires
6 days eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day
the net
hold an assembly
thing.
to the Lord your God and do no work. 9. Count off 7 weeks from the time you begin to put the sickle to the standing grain. 10. Then celebrate the Feast of Weeks to the Lord your God by giving a freewill offering in proportion to the blessings the Lord your God has given you. 11. And rejoice before the Lord your God at the place he will choose as a dwelling for his name, you, your sons and daughters, your menservants and maidservants, the Levites in your towns, and the aliens, the fatherless and the widows living among you.
What do I need to make a
12.
backpack?
Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and follow carefully these decrees. 13. Celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles
A bunch
for
of
7
sticks.
days after
Okay.
you have gathered
I
the
will make that
produce of
momentarily.
your threshing floor and your winepress.
I can probably make a
14. Be
probably make a
joyful
chest
as
real
you
quick.
feast you, your sons and daughters, your
need way more
menservants and
boards.
maidservants, and the Levites,
More boards.
the aliens, the fatherless and the widows who live in your towns.
Okay, now I can make a
15.
chest.
For 7 days celebrate the feast to the Lord your God at the place the Lord will choose. For the Lord your God will bless you in all your harvest and in all the work of
I'll
your
just put it there.
hands,
I'm not
and
gonna
your
think too hard
joy
about
will
it.
be complete.
Okay, all my gold.
16. 3 times a year all your men must appear before the Lord your God at the place he will choose, at the
I do
feast
agree.
of unleavened bread, the feast of weeks and the feast of tabernacles. No man should appear before the Lord empty-handed. 17. Each of you must bring a gift in proportion to the way the Lord your God has blessed you.
I can't take individual parts of it.
18. Appoint judges and officials for each of your
Only
tribes
the whole
in every
thing.
town the
That's
Lord
annoying.
your God is giving you, and they shall judge the people fairly.
Okay, what direction should I head that I
19.
haven't
Do
headed
not
before?
pervert justice or show partiality. Do not accept a bribe.
Due
for a
north?
bribe
I can go
blinds
due
the
north. I
eyes
have
of
not
the
done that.
wise and twists the words of the righteous.
Main
20.
items to
Follow
be looking for
justice
in the
and
meantime.
justice alone,
Probably a bunch
so
of
that you may live
stone.
and possess the land the Lord your God
I think I want to build walls first. Like, for
21.
real,
Do not
build
set up
walls.
any wooden Asherah pole beside the altar you build to the Lord your God.
Yeah, I'm focusing on building walls for the time
22.
being.
And do not erect a sacred stone, for these the Lord your God hates. 17. Do not sacrifice to the Lord your God an ox or a sheep that
Yeah,
has any
I'm low on
defect or
sticks.
flaw in
Need
it,
more
for
sticks.
that
Way
would be
more.
detestable to him. 2. If a man or woman living among you in one of the towns the Lord gives you is found doing evil in the eyes of the Lord your God in violation of his covenant. 3. And contrary
weird.
to
Where
my
does this
command
go?
has worshipped other gods,
Nope, sticks over there. I
bowing
need
down
sticks
to
more.
them or to the sun or the moon or the stars of the sky. 4. And this has been brought to your attention, then you must investigate it thoroughly. If it is true and it has been proved that this detestable thing has been
Oh,
done
look,
in
a
Israel.
house. Great.
5. Take the man or woman who
I'll
has done
take
this
this.
evil deed to your city gate and stone
I
that
think the
person
box
to
thing
death.
has a use. I just don't know what.
6. On the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses a man shall be put to death, but no one shall be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. 7. The hands of the witnesses must be the first in putting him to death, and then the hands of all the
Good
people.
food. That's what I'm low on right
You
now.
must purge the evil from among you. 8. If cases come before your courts that are too difficult for you to judge, whether bloodshed, lawsuits, or assaults, take them to the place the Lord your God will choose. 9. Go to the priests, who are Levites, and to the judge who is in office at that time. Inquire of them and they will give you the verdict. 10. You must act according to the decisions they give you at the place the Lord will choose. Be careful to do everything they direct you to do. 11. Act according to the law they teach you and the decisions they give you. Do not turn aside from what they tell you, to the right or to the left. 12 The man who shows contempt for the judge or for the priest who stands ministering there to the Lord your God must be put to death. You must purge the evil from Israel. 13 All the people will hear and be afraid, and will not be contemptuous again. 14 When you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you and have taken possession of it and settled in it, and you say, let us set a king over us like all the nations around us. 15 Be sure to appoint over you the king the Lord your God chooses. He must
King
be
has to be through God.
from among your own brothers. Do not place a foreigner over you, one who is not a brother Israelite. 16 The king, moreover, must not acquire great numbers of horses for himself or make the people return to Egypt to get more of them, for the Lord has told you, you are not to go back that way again.
Never return to Egypt.
17 He must not take many wives, or his heart will be led astray. He must not accumulate large amounts of silver and gold.
Yeah, but it's
18
like
When
the
he
main
takes the
thing
throne
that
of
kings
his
do.
kingdom, he is to write for himself on a scroll a copy of this law, taken from that of the priests, who are Levites. 19 It is to be with him, and he is to read it all the days of his life so that he may learn to revere the Lord his God and follow carefully all the words of this law. And
When he takes the throne of his kingdom, he is to write for himself on a scroll a copy of this law, taken from that of the priests who are Levites. Oh, interesting.
and these decrees. 20 And not consider himself better than his brothers and turn from the law to the right or to the left. Then he and his descendants will reign a long time over his kingdom in Israel. 18 The priests, who are Levites. Indeed the whole tribe of Levi are to have no allotment or inheritance with Israel. They shall live on the offerings made
into
to the Lord
cut
by
stone.
fire, for that is their inheritance. 2 They shall have no inheritance among their brothers, the Lord is their inheritance, as he promised them.
Okay, and now I can build walls, right?
3 This is the share due the priests from the people who sacrifice a bull or a sheep, the shoulder, the jowls, and the inner parts. For you are to give them the first fruits of your grain, new wine and oil, and the first wool from the shearing of your sheep. 5 For the Lord your God has chosen them and their descendants out of all your tribes to stand and minister in the Lord's name always. 6 If a Levite moves from one of your towns anywhere in Israel where he is living, and comes in all earnestness to the place the Lord will choose. 7 He may minister in the name of the Lord his God like all his fellow Levites who serve there in the presence of the Lord. 8 He is to share equally in their benefits, even though he has received money from the sale of family possessions.
Oh, come on, game.
9 When you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you, do not learn to imitate the detestable ways of the nations there. 10 Let no one be found among you who sacrifices his son or daughter in the fire, who practices divination.
Do I need
or
a shovel
sorcery,
to put that away?
interprets
No way.
omens, engages in witchcraft. 11 Or casts spells, or who is a medium or spiritist or
Wait a
who
minute.
consults the dead.
How do I approach that then?
12 Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord, and because of these detestable practices the Lord your God will drive out those nations before you. 13 You must be blameless before the Lord your God. 14 The nations you will dispossess listen to those who practice sorcery or divination. But as for
Shovel.
you, the Lord your God has not permitted you to do so. 15 The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among your own brothers. You must listen to him. 16 For this is what you asked of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly when you said, let us not hear the voice of the Lord our God nor see this great fire any more, or we will die. 17 The Lord said to me, what they say is good. 18 I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their brothers. I will put my words in his mouth, and he will tell them everything I command him.
Where did the shovel I had go?
19 If anyone does not listen to my words that the prophet speaks in my name, I myself will call him to account.
Shovel.
20 But a prophet who presumes to speak in my name anything I have not commanded him to say, or a prophet who speaks in the name of other gods, must be put to death. 21 You may say to yourselves, how can we know when a message has not been spoken by the Lord? 22 If what a prophet proclaims in the name of the Lord does not take place or come true, that is a message the Lord has not spoken. That prophet has spoken presumptuously. Do not be afraid of him. 19 When the Lord your God has destroyed the nations whose land he is giving you, and when you have driven them out and settled in their towns and houses.
Yeah, but we're making
2
progress.
Then set aside for yourselves 3 cities centrally located in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess.
I don't know much more about how building works in this
3
context.
Build roads to them and divide into 3 parts the land the Lord your God is giving you as an
Structures.
inheritance, so that anyone who kills a man may flee there. For this is the rule concerning the man who kills another and flees there to save his
Wood
life,
flooring.
one who kills his neighbor unintentionally.
What do I need wood
without
flooring
malice
for?
aforethought. 5 For instance, a man may go into the forest with his neighbor to cut wood, and as he swings his axe to fell a tree, the head may fly off and hit his neighbor and kill him. That man may flee to one of these cities and save his life. 6 Otherwise, the avenger of blood might pursue him in a rage, overtake him if the distance is too great, and kill him even though he is not deserving of death, since he did it to his neighbor without malice
A
aforethought.
sign. A sign.
7 This
chest.
is why I command you to
How
set
do I make a
aside for
door?
yourselves 3 cities. 8 If the Lord your God enlarges your
What do
territory,
I need after an
as he
alchemy
promised
engine?
on oath to your forefathers, and gives you the whole
Okay,
land
sure.
he
I don't
promised them.
understand.
9 Because you carefully follow all these
I
laws
just need to
I command
focus
you
on
today
not
to love
starving
the Lord
more.
your God and to walk always in his ways, then you are to set aside 3 more cities. 10 Do this so that innocent blood will not be shed in your land, which the Lord your God is giving you as your inheritance, and so that you will not be guilty of bloodshed. 11 But if a man hates his neighbor and lies in wait for him, assaults and kills him, and then flees to one of these cities. 12 The elders of his town shall send for him, bring him back from the city, and hand him over to the avenger of blood to die. 13 Show him no pity. You must purge from Israel the guilt of shedding innocent blood, so that it may go well with you. 14 Do not move your neighbor's boundary stone set up by your predecessors in the inheritance you receive in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess. 15 One witness is not enough to convict a man accused of any crime or offense he may have committed. A matter must be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. 16 If a malicious witness takes the stand to accuse a man of a crime. 17 The 2 men involved in the dispute must stand in the presence of the Lord before the priests and the judges who are in office at the time. 18 The judges must make a thorough investigation, and if the witness proves to be a liar, giving false testimony against his brother. 19 Then do to him as he intended to do to his brother. You must purge the evil from among you. 20 The rest of the people will hear of this and be afraid, and never again will such an evil thing be done among you. 21 Show no pity, life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. 20 When you go to war against your enemies and see horses and chariots and an army greater than yours,
Don't be afraid of them, because the Lord your God.
Because the Lord your God, who brought you up out of Egypt, will be with you. 2 When you are about to go into battle, the priest shall come forward and address the army. 3 He shall say, Hear, O Israel, today you are going into battle against your enemies. Do not be faint-hearted or afraid, do not be terrified or give way to panic before them. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to give you victory. 5 The officers shall say to the army, Has anyone built a new house and not dedicated it? Let him go home, or he may die in battle and someone else may dedicate it. 6 Has anyone planted a vineyard and not begun to enjoy it? Let him go home, or he may die in battle and someone else enjoy it. 7 Has anyone become pledged to a woman and not married her? Let him go home, or he may die in battle and someone else marry her. 8 Then the officers shall add, Is any man afraid or faint-hearted? Let him go home so that his brothers will not become disheartened too. 9. When the officers have finished speaking to the army, they shall appoint commanders over it. 10.
Okay,
When you
right, this is
march
when
up to
everything gets
attack a
on fire
city,
because
make
of
its people an offer
that,
of
so
peace.
I should chop these down real quick.
11. If they accept and open their gates, all the people in it shall be subject to forced labor and shall work for you. 12. If they refuse to make peace and they engage you in battle, lay siege to that city. 13. When the Lord your God delivers it into your hand, put to the sword all the men in it. 14. As for the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the city, you may take these as plunder for yourselves. And you may use the plunder the Lord your God gives you from your enemies. 15. This is how you are to treat all the cities that are at a distance from you and do not belong to the nations nearby. 16. However, in the cities of the nations the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, do not leave alive anything that breathes. 17. Completely destroy them, the Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites and Jebusites, as the Lord your God has commanded you. 18. Otherwise, they will teach you to follow all the detestable things they do in worshiping their gods, and you will
Yeah, the
sin
Bible
against
is
the Lord
very,
your God.
very much pro-genocide. I feel like this
19.
explains a
When you lay
lot.
siege to a city for
Like a lot
long
of things I
time,
didn't understand
fighting
before,
against
I
it to
suddenly
capture it,
understand now.
Do not destroy its trees by putting an axe to them, because you can eat their fruit. Do not cut them down. Are the trees of the field people, that you should besiege them? 20. However, you may cut down trees that you know are not fruit trees and use them to build siege works until the city at war with you falls. 21. If a man is found slain, lying in a field in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess, and it is not known who killed him, 2. Your elders and judges shall go out and measure the distance from the body to the neighboring towns. 3. Then the elders of the town nearest the body shall take a heifer that has never been worked and has never worn a yoke. 4. And lead her down to a valley that has not been plowed or planted and where there is a flowing stream. There in the valley they are to break the heifer's neck. 5. The priests, the sons of Levi, shall step forward, for the Lord your God has chosen them to minister.
Well, the rain is making the forest grow faster.
To decide all cases of dispute and assault.
Wow, I already maxed out the stuff I can carry. That's
6.
not
Then
great.
all the elders of the town
This
nearest
is
the body
suboptimal.
shall wash their hands over the heifer whose neck was broken in the valley.
Snowball.
7. And they shall declare, our hands did not shed this blood, nor did our eyes see it done. 8. Accept this atonement for your people Israel, whom you have redeemed, O Lord, and do not hold your people guilty of the blood of an innocent man. And the bloodshed will be atoned
No,
for.
don't do that, you dum-dum. God dang it.
9. So you will purge from yourselves the guilt of shedding innocent blood, since you have done what is right in the eyes of the Lord. 10. When you go to war against your enemies and the Lord your God delivers them into your hands and you take captives. 11. If you notice among the captives a beautiful woman and are attracted to her, you may take her as your wife. 12. Bring her into your home and have her shave her head, trim her nails. 13. And put aside the clothes she was wearing when captured. After she has lived in your house and mourned her father and mother for a full month, then you may go to her and be her husband and she shall be your wife. 14. If you are not pleased with her, let her go wherever she wishes. You must not sell her or treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her. 15. If a man has 2 wives, and he loves one but not the other, and both bear him sons but the firstborn is the son of the wife he does not love.
Whoa! The angry dog.
16. When he wills his property to his sons,
Cool.
he
Drop it
must
there,
not give the
get a
rights of the
spear out,
firstborn to the son of the wife
and
he loves in
then
preference
prepare to
his
fight it.
actual firstborn, the son of the wife he does not love. 17.
Got it.
He must acknowledge the son of his unloved wife
That was
as
crazy.
the firstborn by giving him a double share of all he has. That.
Alright, 1 second. What? Game? What did you just say? I have questions about what I just heard. Okay, I'm officially super low on food, even though I'm making progress in other ways. I think what that means is I kind of have to go out and go to a new area. Pause the game for a second. What did you just say? Put aside clothes with her, and then you may go to her and be your husband. She shall be your wife. If you are not pleased with her, let her go wherever she wishes. You will not sell her or treat her as a slave, since you desired her. If a man has 2 wives, and he loves one but not the other, and both bear his sons, but the firstborn is the son of the wife he does not love, when he wills his property to sons, he must not give the rights of the firstborn to the son of the wife he loves, in preference to his actual firstborn, the son of the wife he does not love. He must acknowledge the son of his unloved wife as the firstborn by giving him a double share of all he has. That son is a sign of a father's strength.
Of his father's strength.
Whoa.
The right of the firstborn belongs to him. 18 If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son who does not obey his father and mother and will not listen to them when they discipline him. 19 His father and mother shall take hold of him and bring him to the elders at the gate of his town. 20 They shall say to the elders, this son of ours is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey us. He is a profligate and a drunkard. 21 Then all the men of his town shall stone him to death. You must purge the evil from among you. All Israel will hear of it and be afraid. 22 If a man guilty of a capital offense is put to death and his body is hung on a tree.
Don't do it.
23 You must not leave his body on the tree overnight. Be sure to bury him that same day.
Why is this complicated?
Anyone who is hung on a tree is under
So
God's
complicated.
curse. You must not desecrate the land the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance. 22 If you see your brother's ox or sheep straying, do not ignore it but be sure to take it back to him. 2 If the brother does not live near you or if you do not know who he is, take it home with you and keep it until he comes looking for it. Then give it back to him. 3 Do the same if you find your brother's donkey or his cloak or anything he loses. Do not ignore it. For if you see your brother's donkey or his ox fallen on the road, do not ignore it. Help him get it to its feet. 5 A woman must not wear men's clothing, nor a man wear women's clothing, for the Lord your God detests anyone who does this.
He's transphobic. God is transphobic.
6 If you come across a bird's nest beside the road, either in a tree or on the ground,
Oh, it messed
and
up
the mother
again.
is sitting
God
on
dang
the
it.
young or on the eggs, do not take the mother with the young.
Oh my God,
7
this
You may take the young, but
the
be sure
controls
to
in
let
this
the
game
mother
kind
go,
of suck.
so that it may go well with you and you may have a long life. 8 When you build a new house, make a parapet around your roof so that you may not bring the guilt of bloodshed on your house if someone falls from the roof. 9 Do not plant 2 kinds of seed in your vineyard.
Okay.
If you do,
Now
not
what do
only
I
the
do?
crops you plant but also the fruit of the vineyard will be
I
defiled.
have 14 extra stones.
10 Do not
For
plow
what?
with an
I
ox and a
will
donkey
figure
yoked
out
together.
eventually. Oh, I can
11
make them
Do
like
not wear
all
clothes
double
of
height,
wool
can't
and
I,
linen
or something
woven
like that?
together. 12
Repair.
Make
Yeah,
tassels
here
on
we
the
go.
4 corners of the cloak you wear. 13 If a man takes a wife and, after lying with her, dislikes her. 14 And slanders her and gives her a bad name, saying, I married this woman, but when I approached her, I did not find proof of her virginity. 15 Then the girl's father and mother shall bring proof that she was a virgin to the town elders at the gate. 16 The girl's father will say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her. 17 Now he has slandered her and said, I did not find your daughter to be a virgin. But here is the proof of my daughter's virginity.
What do you
Then her
mean
parents
proof?
shall
Y'all are
display the
weird.
cloth before the elders of
The
town.
cloth?
18 And the elders shall take the man and punish him. 19 They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver and give them to the girl's father, because this man has given an Israelite virgin a bad name. She shall continue to be his wife, he must not divorce her as long as he lives. 20 If, however, the charge is true and no proof of the girl's virginity can be found. 21 She shall be brought to the door of her father's house and there the men of her town shall stone her to death.
Huh?
She has done a disgraceful thing in Israel by being
What
promiscuous while
is
still
this?
in her father's house. You must purge the evil from among you. 22 If a man is found sleeping with another man's wife, both the man who slept with her and the woman must die. You must purge the evil from Israel. 23
So again,
If a
that
man
means all these
happens to meet in a
politicians
town a
who are
virgin
cheating on
pledged to be
people,
married and he sleeps
they
with
should
her.
die, according to the Bible. According to the Bible.
24 You shall take
All the
both of them to
politicians
gate of that town
that
and
have been
stone
cheating
them
on
to
their
death, the girl,
partners
because she was in a town and did not
are supposed to
scream
be
for
put to
help,
death. That's
and the
not my
man
rule, it's the
because he
Bible's rule.
violated another man's wife. You must
What?
purge the evil from among you.
Ain't this a little aggressive?
25 But if out in the country a man happens to meet a girl pledged to be married and rapes her, only the man who has done this shall die.
Rape
26
also
Do
died,
nothing to the
so
girl. She has committed no sin deserving death. This case is like that of someone who attacks and murders his neighbor. 27 For the man found the girl out in the country, and though the betrothed girl
okay,
screamed,
what do I do about the
there
fact
was
that I
no
actually
one
have
to
no
rescue
idea
her.
how to do what I'm doing right now?
28 If a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married and rapes her and they are discovered. 29 He shall pay the girl's father 50 shekels of silver. He must
I have no
marry
idea
the
what's
girl,
going on.
for he has violated her. He can never divorce her as long as he lives. 30 A man is not to marry his father's wife. He
Oh,
must not
protection from
dishonor
lightning
his father's
strikes. That
bed.
would be useful.
23 No one
Yeah,
who
let me
has
build one of
been
these.
emasculated by crushing or cutting may enter the assembly of the Lord. 2 No one born of a forbidden marriage nor any of his descendants may enter the assembly of the Lord, even down
I'm not
to
sure
the
if this is a
10th
bad
generation.
idea to put this here, but I'm gonna put it there.
3 No Ammonite or Moabite or any of his descendants may enter the assembly of the Lord, even down to the 10th generation.
Okay,
For
we're
they
getting
did
to
not
the
come
dark
to
dark.
meet you with bread and water on your way when you came out of Egypt, and they hired Balaam son of Beor from Pethor in Aram Naharaim to pronounce a curse on you. 5 However, the
What
Lord
other
your
useful
God would
items
not
can I
listen
build?
to Balaam but turned the curse into a blessing for you, because the Lord your God loves you. 6 Do not seek a treaty of friendship with them as long as you live. 7 Do not abhor an Edomite, for he is your
Iris.
brother. Do not abhor an
Beeswax.
Egyptian, because
Rice
you
paper.
lived as an alien in his country.
Yeah, I do
8
not
The
get what's
third
going on.
generation of children born to them may enter the assembly of the Lord.
Oh, if I never hit winner, is
9
winner
When
like
you are
guaranteed to hit
encamped
at some
against your
point?
enemies, keep away from everything impure. 10 If one of your men is unclean because of a nocturnal emission, he is to go outside the camp and stay there. 11 But as evening approaches he is to wash himself, and at sunset he may return to the camp.
A mission of seamen, correct?
12 Designate
usually
a
what
place
they mean in
outside
this.
the camp where you can go to relieve yourself. 13 As part of your equipment have something to dig with, and when you relieve yourself, dig a hole and cover up
Going to
your
the bathroom?
14 For the Lord your God moves about
Alright,
in your
whatever,
camp
game.
to
I
protect
need
you
to
and
go get
deliver your
food,
enemies to
so.
you. Your camp must be holy, so that he will not see among you anything indecent and turn away from you. 15
Okay, I'm
If a
gonna
slave
store
has
all the
taken
best
refuge
stuff
with
that
you,
I have on
do
me
not
right
hand
now.
him over to his master. 16 Let him live among you wherever he likes and in whatever
Grass
town
will
he
be
chooses.
useful. Charcoal can
Do
be
not oppress
stored.
him. 17 No Israelite man or woman is to become a shrine prostitute. 18 You must not bring the earnings of a female prostitute or of a male prostitute into the house of the Lord your God to pay any
Stone?
vow, because the Lord your God detests
I will
them
need
both.
rocks. Sticks are
19 Do
good.
not
Box
charge
thing,
your
I don't know
brother
what this
interest,
is.
whether on money or food or anything else that
Okay.
may earn interest.
Alright, I'm gonna go
20 You may
explore
charge a
really
foreigner
far away,
interest,
real quick.
but not a brother Israelite, so that the Lord your God may bless you in everything you put your hand to in the land you are entering to possess. 21 If you make a
I will
vow
need
to
enough
the
to make
Lord
a
your God,
permanent
do not be slow to pay it, for the Lord
campfire
your
for a
God will
night.
certainly demand it of you and you will be guilty of sin. 22 But if you refrain from making a vow, you will not be guilty. 23 Whatever your lips utter you must be sure to do, because you made your vow freely to the Lord your God with your own mouth. 24 If you enter your neighbor's vineyard, you may eat all the grapes you want, but do not put any in your basket. 25 If you enter your neighbor's grain field, you may pick kernels with your hands, but you must not put a sickle to his standing grain. 24 If a man marries a woman who becomes displeasing to him because he finds something indecent about her, and he writes her a certificate of divorce, gives
Yeah,
it to
the
her and
divorce thing
sends
is
her from his
interesting.
house. 2. And if after she leaves his house she becomes the wife of another man. 3. And her second husband dislikes her and writes her a certificate of divorce.
What, just murder her
gives
if
it
you
to
get
her
divorced
and sends
twice?
her from his
No way.
house,
No,
or if
okay.
he dies. For then her first husband, who divorced her, is not allowed to marry her.
You can't go
again
back to
after
her?
she has been
Oh.
defiled.
Interesting.
That would be detestable in the eyes of the Lord. Do not bring sin upon the land the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance. 5. If a man has recently married, he must not be sent to war or have any other duty laid on him. For 1 year he is
Honeymoon?
to be free to stay at home
Honeymoon.
and bring happiness to the wife he has married. 6. Do not take a pair of millstones, not even the upper one, as security for a debt, because that would be taking the
That is
man's
a
livelihood
weird
as security.
organism, and I'm going to run away from it.
7. If a man is caught kidnapping one of his brother Israelites and treats him as a slave or sells him, the kidnapper must die. You must purge the evil from among you.
So like when a police officer
8.
arrests
Cases
someone,
of leprous diseases,
and
be
then
very
that
careful
someone
to do
can't get out
exactly
unless
as the
they pay
priests,
bail, is
who
that
are
not the same
Levites,
thing as
instruct
kidnapping and then selling
you.
someone?
You must follow carefully what I have commanded them.
Just
9.
Just as a
Remember what
question.
the Lord your God did to
Just
Miriam
curious.
along the way after you came out of Egypt.
God, where am I? It's like
10.
I'm in the middle of
When you make
nowhere.
a loan of any kind to your neighbor, do not go into his house to get what he is offering as a pledge. 11. Stay outside.
How does one
and
find
let
a
the man
beefalo?
to whom you are making the loan bring the pledge out to you. 12. If the man is poor, do not go to sleep with his pledge in your possession.
Mandrake. It screams when I pull it out.
13. Return his cloak to him by sunset so that he may sleep in it. Then he
Why
will
is that
thank
its
you,
noise? Hey,
and it will
beefalo
be
dung.
regarded
Huge.
as a
That's what I've been
righteous
wanting this
act
whole
in the
time.
sight of the Lord your God.
This will enable
14.
me to
Do
start
not
a farm.
Take advantage of a hired man who is poor and needy, whether he is a brother Israelite or an alien living in one of your towns.
Beefalo.
15. Pay him his wages each day before sunset, because he is poor and is counting on it.
More manure.
Otherwise he may cry to the Lord against you, and you will be guilty of sin. 16. Fathers shall not be put to
Alright,
death
who thinks
for their
I can get
children,
back in
nor
time? I don't
children
think I
put to death
can.
for their fathers. Each
You know
is
what?
to
It would
die
be
for
nice
his
to
own
put
sin.
a campfire down just for the sole
17.
purpose
Do
of
not deprive the alien or the fatherless of justice, or take the cloak of the widow
just
as
for
a
the purpose
pledge.
of marking this location essentially.
18. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt and the Lord your God redeemed you from there. That is why I command you to do this.
Ah, web. That would be useful right
19.
now.
When you are harvesting in your field and you overlook
Uh-oh,
a
it's
sheaf,
angry already.
do not go back to get it. Leave it for the alien, the fatherless and the widow,
Dang it.
so that the
I was supposed to bring enough stones.
bless you in all the work of your hands.
And I did not because I'm stupid.
20. When you beat the olives from your trees,
Okay, happy to
do
have
not
found the
go
beefalo
over the
though.
branches a second time. Leave what remains for the alien, the
Oh, more
fatherless and the widow.
manure. Useful.
21.
So I can build
When
me
you
a giant
harvest the
farm.
grapes in your vineyard, do not go over the vines again. Leave
Yeah,
what
beefalo.
remains for the alien, the fatherless and the widow. 22. Remember that you were slaves in
Move
Egypt.
beefalo. I want that.
That is why I command you to do this. 25. When men have a dispute, they are to take it to court and the judges will decide the case, acquitting the innocent and condemning the guilty. 2. If the guilty man deserves to be beaten, the judge shall make him lie down and have him flogged in his presence.
I honestly thought the beefalo would like
hate
hate the fire or something.
3. But he must not give him more than 40 lashes. If he is flogged more than that, your brother will be degraded in your eyes. For do not muzzle an ox while it is treading out the grain. 5. If brothers are living together and one of them dies without a son, his widow must not marry outside the family. Her
The widow
husband's
has to marry the
shall
brother?
Take her and marry her and fulfill the duty of a brother-in-law to her.
Okay.
6. The first son
Slower.
she bears shall carry on the name of the dead brother so that his name will not be blotted out from Israel. 7. However, if a man does not want to marry his brother's wife, she shall go to the elders at the town gate and say, my husband's brother refuses to carry on his brother's name in Israel. He will not fulfill the duty of a brother-in-law to me. 8. Then the elders of his town shall summon him and talk to him. If he persists in saying, I do not want to marry her, 9 His brother's widow shall go up to him in the presence of the elders, take off one
No,
of his
the beefalo are
sandals,
going to sleep.
spit in
Understood.
his face and say, "This is what is done to the man who will not build up his brother's family line." 10 That man's line shall be known in Israel as the
family of the unsandaled.
11 If 2 men are fighting and the wife of one of them comes to rescue her husband from his assailant, and she reaches out and seizes him by his private parts. 12 You shall cut off her hand.
Okay, so
Show
no
her
ball
no
fondling.
pity. 13
It's wrestling
Do not have
rules.
2 differing weights in your bag, one heavy, one light. 14
What
Do not
bag?
have 2 differing measures in your house, one large, one small.
What does that mean?
15 You must have
for
accurate
measuring
and honest weights and measures, so that you may
stuff worth money.
live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. 16 For the Lord your God detests anyone who does these things, anyone who deals dishonestly. 17 Remember what the Amalekites did to you along the way.
I'm not
when
sure
you
what to do with
came out of
beefalo. I'm just
Egypt.
gonna ignore them.
18
I can
When
always
you
get
were
back to
weary
them.
and worn out, they met you on your journey and cut off all who were lagging behind. They had no fear of God. 19 When the Lord your God gives you rest from all the enemies around you in the land he is giving you to possess as an inheritance, you shall blot out the memory
There's some
of
angry
Amalek from under
motherfuckers.
heaven. Do not
Ooh,
forget.
free silk. I can use that for a bat
26
something
You have
later.
entered the land. The Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance.
Maybe I can go help that guy
taken
fight these real
possession of it
quick.
and settled
I
it.
mean, I have okay health right now.
2 Take some of the first
Hit this
fruits
guy.
of all that you produce from
Hit
the
him.
soil of the land
Get his
the
ass.
Lord your God
Get
is
his
giving you, and
ass.
put them in a basket. Then go to the place the Lord your God will choose as a dwelling for his name. 3 And say to the priest in office at the time,
Okay,
I declare
I'm
today
running.
to the Lord your God that I have come to the land the Lord swore to our forefathers to give us. For the priest shall take the basket.
What do you mean
from
you
your
can't carry
hands and
anything
set
else?
it
Come
down
on.
in front of the altar of the Lord your God.
Just drop it, I
5
guess.
Then you shall declare before the Lord your
Give
God,
me more silk.
my father was a wandering Aramean, and he went down into Egypt with a few people and lived there and became a great nation, powerful and numerous.
Hey, a
6
bunch of
But the
silk now.
Egyptians mistreated us and made us suffer, putting us to hard labor.
That's all I got out of it? Oh, exactly enough to
7
make
Then we
one bird
cried out
trap.
to the
Great.
Lord, the God of our fathers,
Great.
and the Lord heard our voice and saw our misery, toil,
I
and
need
oppression.
to get food while I'm doing this.
8
Suspicious
So the
dirt
Lord
pile.
brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, with great terror and with
Animal
miraculous
tracks.
signs and wonders. 9 He brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. 10 And now I bring the firstfruits of the soil that you, O Lord, have given me. Place the basket before the Lord your
Where
God
am I
and
right
bow
now?
down before him.
Middle of nowhere.
11
All
And
right.
you and the Levites and the
I gotta get
aliens
going.
among you shall rejoice in all the good things the Lord your God has given to you and your household. 12 When you have finished setting aside a tenth of all your produce in the 3rd year, the year of the tithe, you shall give it to the Levite, the alien, the fatherless.
The
and
Levite, the
widow,
alien, and the
so that they
fatherless,
may
and the
eat in
widow.
your towns and be satisfied.
So the tent that you set aside is actually for
13 Then
charity.
say
That's
to
a
the
pretty
Lord your God,
pro-social thing,
I have
Bible.
removed from my house the sacred portion and have given it to the Levite, the alien,
Like,
the
I mean, come on,
fatherless,
that's
and the
pretty.
widow, according
That's
to all you
pro-social.
commanded.
I'm not going to deny the Bible
I
that
have
when it's
not
doing
turned
stuff like
aside
that.
from your commands, nor have I forgotten any of them. 14 I have not eaten any of the sacred portion while I was in mourning, nor have I removed any of it while I was unclean, nor have I offered any of it to the dead. I have obeyed the Lord my God, I have done everything you commanded me. 15 Look down from heaven, your holy dwelling place, and bless
Seeds.
your people
I'll need
Israel
those
and
soon.
the land you have given us as you promised on oath to our forefathers, a land flowing with
Okay,
milk and honey.
what am I focusing on right now? I'm focusing on making
16
a
The Lord your
farm.
God commands you this day to follow these decrees and laws.
I need
Carefully
logs,
observe them
apparently.
with all your heart and with all your soul. 17
And
You
I don't have
declared
that many
this day
logs,
that
apparently.
the Lord is your God and that you will walk in his ways, that you will keep his decrees, commands and laws, and that you will obey him.
I did not mean to do that.
18
God dang
And
it.
the Lord has declared this day that you are his people, his treasured possession as he promised, and that you are to
Let's get a
keep
bunch of
all
logs
his
then.
commands. 19 He has declared that he will set you in praise, fame and honor high above all the nations he has made, and that you will be a people holy to the Lord your God, as he promised. 27 Moses and the elders of Israel. Commanded the people, keep all these commands that I give you today. 2. When you have crossed the Jordan into the land the Lord your God is giving you, set up some large stones and coat them with plaster. 3. Write on them all the words of this law when you have crossed over to enter the land the Lord your God is giving you, a land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your fathers, promised you. 4. And when you have crossed the Jordan, set up these stones on Mount Ebal, as I command you today, and coat them with plaster.
Set up stones on a mountain and coat them with plaster. I don't know this structure.
6. Build the altar
I've never heard
of the
of it.
Lord your God with field stones and offer burnt offerings on it to the Lord your God.
Seeds. Okay, I think I can finally make a bird trap, which is going to be advantageous. I think this is the longest run I've done so far. Like, I'm doing pretty okay. Okay, and now I try to make a farm, correct? Well, first I should cook a bunch of food, probably. And I guess I should make a bird trap while I'm at it. As long as it doesn't use too many super valuable stuff. Oh, come on. Go back. Bird trap. Capture winged beast. Okay, and I can just kind of like put that over here, I guess. Bird trap. Cool. Back to reading. Back to reading.
God.
There we go. Cool.
God.
God.
7. Sacrifice
What are you
fellowship
saying, gang?
offerings there, eating them and rejoicing in the presence of the Lord your God.
Farm.
8. And you shall write very
Huge.
clearly all the words of this law on these stones you have set up. 9. Then Moses and the priests, who are Levites, said to all Israel, Be silent, O Israel, and listen. You have now become the people of the Lord your God.
Game, where did that go?
10. Obey the Lord your God and follow his commands and decrees that I give you today. 11. On the same day Moses commanded the people. 12. When you have crossed the Jordan, these tribes shall stand on Mount Gerizim to bless the people: Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, and Benjamin. 13. And these tribes shall stand on Mount Ebal to pronounce curses: Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. 14. The Levites shall recite to all the people of Israel in a loud voice. 15. Cursed is the man who carves an image or casts an idol, a thing detestable to the Lord, the work of the craftsman's hands, and sets it up in secret. Then all the people shall say, Amen. 16.
Can I cook this
Cursed is the
mandrake?
man who dishonors his father or his mother.
Oh.
Then all
Oh,
the
it
people
screamed
shall
so
say,
loud that it knocked
Amen.
me out.
17. Cursed is
So
the man
don't do
who
that.
moves his neighbor's boundary stone.
Don't do that.
Then all the people shall say, Amen.
Okay, don't eat anything mandrake related, ever.
18. Cursed
I guess.
is the man who leads the
What
blind
the
astray
heck?
on the road. Then
Game,
all the
what
people
was
shall
that?
Say, Amen.
Oh, but when I eat it the
19.
second time, it
Cursed
actually
is the man
fixes
who
my health
withholds justice
and
from
hunger.
the alien, the fatherless,
Huh.
or the widow. Then all
I
the
just
people
found that
shall
overall
say,
very stressful.
Amen.
I did not enjoy that. That scared me.
20. Cursed is the man who sleeps with his father's wife, for he dishonors his father's bed. Then all the people shall say, Amen.
Seeds
21.
can start
Cursed
planting.
is the man who has sexual relations with any animal. Then all the people
Plant.
shall say, Amen.
Yay! All right, I just need like 10
22.
farms and I'm
Cursed is
good.
the man who sleeps with his sister, the daughter of his father or the daughter of his mother. Then all the people shall say, Amen. 23. Cursed is the man who sleeps with his mother-in-law. Then all the people shall say, Amen.
The amen thing is very interesting.
24. Cursed is the man who kills his neighbor secretly. Then all the people shall say, Amen. 25. Cursed is the man who accepts a bribe to kill an innocent person. Then all the people shall say, Amen.
Axe time.
26. Cursed is the man who does not uphold the words of this law by carrying them out. Then all the people shall say, Amen.
A tree just popped up on its own.
28 If you fully obey the Lord
How did that
your
even
God,
happen?
and carefully follow all his commands I give you today, the Lord
How do I
your
go get a
God will
beefalo?
set you high above all the nations on earth. 2 All these blessings will come upon you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. 3 You will be blessed in the city and blessed in the country. For the fruit of your womb will be blessed, and the crops of your land and the young of your livestock, the calves of your herds and the lambs of your flocks. 5 Your basket and your kneading trough will be blessed. 6 You will be blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out. 7 The Lord
Can
will
I
grant
make a
that the
light bulb
enemies
and
who
power
rise
it?
up against you will
When
be
can I get
defeated
electricity
before
in
you.
this game?
They
Surely
will
I can
come
do
at
that
you from
eventually,
one
right?
direction, but flee from you in
I got a
7.
lightning rod right there, so
8 The Lord will send a blessing
seems
on your
common
barn
sense that
and
that's
on
possible.
everything you put your hand to. The Lord your God will bless
Oh, I have
you
more
in the
seeds now,
land
so I
he
can
is
go
giving
plant
you.
over here.
9 The Lord will establish you as his holy people, as he promised you on oath, if you keep the commands
So I guess I
of the
can just
Lord
make
your
runs
God and
between
walk
here
in
and the
his
beefalo
ways.
and eventually build a really gigantic
10 Then
farm.
all the peoples on earth will see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they will fear you.
I do think there is enough time to get to
11
the
The Lord
beefalo
will
real
grant
quick.
you abundant prosperity in the fruit of your womb.
I've
the
got
young
too
of
many
your
nice things
livestock,
on me
and the
though.
crops of your ground in the land he swore to your forefathers to give you.
I need more sticks to build like a nice
12
pickaxe.
The Lord will open the heavens,
Oh, look,
the
sticks.
storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands.
Cool.
You will lend to
Alright,
many
I'm gonna build a
nations,
pickaxe
but will
then.
borrow from none. 13 The Lord will make you the head, not the tail. If you pay attention to the commands of the Lord your God that I give you this day and carefully follow them, you
Time
will
for
always
an
be at the top,
opulent
never at the bottom.
pickaxe. Opulent. Opulent?
14 Do
I
not
don't
turn
know.
aside from any of the commands I give you today, to the right or to the left, following other gods and serving them. 15 However, if you do not obey the Lord your God and do not carefully follow all his commands and decrees I am giving you today, all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. 16 You will be cursed in the city and cursed in the country. 17 Your basket and your kneading
No,
trough
don't
will
do
be
that yet.
cursed. 18 The fruit of your womb will be cursed, and the crops of your land, and the calves of your herds and the lambs of your flocks. 19 You will be cursed when you come in and cursed when you go out. 20 The Lord will send on you curses, confusion and rebuke in everything you put your hand to, until you are destroyed
Start a
and come
fire,
to
I guess.
sudden ruin because of the evil you have done in forsaking him.
Okay, now I'm gonna store the really
21
great stuff
The
I have
Lord
on
will
me.
plague you with diseases until he has destroyed you from the land
Like
you
the
are entering
literally
to
40
possess.
flints that I have for some reason. And
22
the
The Lord will
ridiculous
strike
number
you
of
with
stone
wasting
I
disease,
have.
with fever and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, with blight and mildew, which will
The manure
plague
is
you until you
worthwhile. I'm gonna
perish.
get rid of this monster meat. It's useless to me.
23 The sky over your head will be bronze, the ground beneath you iron. 24 The Lord will turn the rain of your country into dust and powder, it will come down from the skies until you are destroyed. 25 The Lord will cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You will come at them from one direction but flee from them in 7, and you will become a thing of horror to all the kingdoms on earth.
No, instantly caught a bird. Nice.
26 Your carcasses will
Efficient.
be food for all the birds of the air and the beasts
Murder
of
the
the
crow.
earth, and there will
Rest
be
in
no
peace,
one
crow.
to frighten them away.
Cook the morsel.
27
Now I
The
have
Lord
food.
will afflict you
Efficient.
with the boils of Egypt and with tumors,
It's not that much
festering
food,
sores,
but it's
and
something.
the itch, from which you cannot be cured. 28 The Lord will afflict you with madness, blindness and confusion of mind. 29 At midday you will grope about like a blind man in the dark. You will be unsuccessful in everything you do.
Alright, can I
Day
make
after day you will be
light?
oppressed and robbed,
Like, can I make a
with
light
no one
bulb?
to rescue you.
Can I science myself
30
something
You will be
for
pledged to be
electricity?
married to a woman, but another will take her and ravish her.
Gunpowder.
You will build a house, but you will not live
Alright, I'm
in it.
literally just gonna take this knife
You will
and
plant a
look
vineyard,
through the items.
but you will not even begin to enjoy its fruit.
Axes, shovels, hammer.
31 Your ox
Pencil.
will be slaughtered before your eyes, but you will eat none of it. Your donkey will be forcibly taken from you and will not be returned. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and no one will rescue them.
Okay,
32
livestock
Your
really
sons and
seems
daughters will be
important.
given to another nation, and you will wear out your eyes watching for them day after day, powerless to lift a hand.
Beefalo seem like
people
fundamental
you
to the
do not
narrative.
know will eat what your land and labor produce, and you will have nothing but cruel oppression all your days.
Cool.
34 The sights you see will drive you
Seeds.
mad.
Gimme.
35 The Lord will afflict your knees and legs with painful boils that cannot be cured, spreading from the soles of your feet to the top
How do I
of your
bait
head.
this? Bait. Okay, this is a very
36 The
efficient
Lord will
system
drive
for
you
getting
and the
food in the
king you
game.
set over you to a nation unknown to you or your fathers. There you will worship other gods, gods of wood and stone. 37 You will become a thing of horror
You
and
will become a
an object
thing of
scorn
horror.
and ridicule to all the nations where the Lord will drive you. 38 You will sow much seed in the field, but you will harvest little, because locusts will devour it. 39 You will plant vineyards and cultivate them, but you will not drink the wine or gather the grapes, because
Why is
worms
everything
will eat
blue?
them. 40
What a
You will
weird
have olive
desaturation.
trees throughout your country, but you will not use the oil, because the olives will drop off. 41 You will have sons and daughters, but you will not keep them, because they will go into captivity. 42 Swarms of locusts will take over all your trees and the crops of your land. 43 The alien who lives among you
Yes,
will
I did hear
rise
that.
above you higher and higher, but you will sink lower and lower.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna
44 He
run
will lend
now.
to you, but you will not lend to him.
Straight to the
He will be
Beefalo
the
area
head,
again,
but you will be the tail.
which is down and over
45 All these curses will come
somewhere.
upon you. They will pursue you
Wait,
and
it doesn't
overtake
show
you
the
until you
actual
are
Beefalo
destroyed,
patch, though.
because you did not obey the Lord your God and observe the commands and
Whatever.
decrees he gave you. 46 They will be a sign and a wonder to you and your descendants forever.
What was that noise? Why is this still
47
happening
Because
even though
you
it's
did not
daytime?
serve the Lord your God joyfully and gladly in the time of prosperity. 48 Therefore
I did hear
in
that.
hunger and thirst, in nakedness and dire poverty, you will serve the enemies the Lord sends against you.
Oh, I
He will
now
put
hear
an
it to my
iron
right, and
yoke
that's
on
where
your
I'm
neck
heading. That
until he
doesn't
has
seem
destroyed
good.
you.
That seems suboptimal.
49 The Lord will bring a nation against
I need to gather
you from
food while I
far
do
away,
this. I can't
from
just...
the ends of the earth, like an eagle swooping down, a nation whose language you will not understand.
I can
50
take the bush with
fierce-looking
me?
nation without respect for the old or pity for the young.
I could have done that the whole time?
51 They will devour the young of your livestock and the crops
Bonk,
of your land
bonk,
until
bonk,
you are destroyed.
bonk, bonk, bonk.
They will leave you no
Get
grain,
bonked.
new wine
Jerk.
or oil, nor any calves of your herds or lambs of your flocks until you are ruined. 52 They will lay siege to all the cities
I can
throughout
literally
your
just
land
pick
until the
up
high
berry bushes
fortified
this whole
walls in
time?
which you trust fall down. They will besiege all the cities throughout the land the Lord your God is giving you.
This is hugely advantageous.
53 Because of the suffering that your enemy will inflict on you during the siege, you will eat the fruit of the womb, the flesh of the sons and daughters the Lord your God has given you. 54 Even the most gentle and sensitive man among you will have no compassion on his own brother or the wife he loves or his surviving children. 55 And he will not give to one of them any of the flesh of his children that he is eating. It will be all he has left because
Oh, the Beefalo are far
of
away.
the suffering your enemy will inflict on you during the siege of all your cities. 56 The most gentle and sensitive woman among you, so sensitive and gentle that she would not venture to touch the ground with the sole of her foot, will begrudge the husband she loves and her own son or daughter. 57 The afterbirth from her womb and the children she bears. For she intends to eat them secretly during the siege and in the distress that your enemy will inflict on you in your cities. 58 If you do not carefully follow
That was crazy.
all the words of this law, which
If you
are
don't
written
follow
in this
God,
book,
you're gonna
and
eat
do not
babies.
revere this glorious
Oh
and
no,
awesome name,
wait,
the Lord your God.
wait. That's a little too...
59 The Lord will send
What did you
fearful
just say,
plagues on you
gang?
and your descendants.
The most gentle and sensitive woman among you, so sensitive and gentle that she would not venture to touch the ground with the sole of her foot, will begrudge her husband, the husband she loves, and her own son or daughter, the afterbirth from her womb and the children she bears. For she intends to eat them secretly during the siege and in distress that your enemy will inflict on you and your cities. I get the psycho conspiracy theorists a little bit. Like, I get them a little bit. With the whole... the billionaire class is all satanic pedophiles thing. You can't deny, like, they're okay. They're not like They're not totally wrong. Like, I get it. I get the jump in logic. I get it. I don't conduct that same jump of logic, but I comprehend how the logical jump has been made. Crazy. Man, the Bible really does get pretty metal sometimes.
Harsh and prolonged disasters, and severe and lingering illnesses. 60 He will bring upon you all the diseases of Egypt that you dreaded, and they will cling to you.
I don't know how to, like, get these guys to listen to me.
61 The Lord will also bring on you every kind of sickness and disaster not recorded in this book of the law, until you are destroyed.
What do y'all eat, anyway? Like, what do y'all eat?
You who were as numerous as the stars in the sky will be
Can't
left
carry any
but
more
few in
stuff.
number,
I am noticing that.
because you did not obey the Lord your
I need
God.
to go ahead and build me a fire for the night.
63
I need
Just as
3
it pleased
pieces
the
of
Lord to
grass
make you
first.
prosper and increase in number, so it will please him to ruin and destroy you. You will be uprooted from the land you are entering to possess.
Grass is over here. Okay, go get grass.
64 Then the Lord will
Maybe I'll
scatter
stay
you
with the
among
beefalo
all
for a couple of
nations,
day-night
from
cycles
one
on
end of the
purpose.
earth to the other.
Just to gather as
There
much
you will
manure as I
worship other
can.
gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. 65 Among those nations
You
will
can't carry
find
any more
no
stuff.
repose,
Yeah, I know.
no resting
One sec.
place for
God
the
dang it.
sole of
What do
your
I do
foot.
here? What do I drop?
There the Lord will
I'll
give
eat that.
you an anxious mind,
Cool.
eyes weary with longing, and a despairing heart. 66 You will live in constant suspense, filled with dread both night and day, never sure of
What's
your
this thing?
life.
I don't trust to get away.
67
Do not
inches
hurt
the
me,
one
frog.
you will
Whoa,
say,
frog, what
if
the heck?
only it were evening.
Why are
and
you
in the
angry?
evening, if only it were morning.
Just me being near you. What
Because
is
of
wrong
the
with you?
terror that will fill your hearts and the sights that your eyes will see. 68 The Lord will send you back in ships to Egypt on a journey I said you should never make again. There you will offer yourselves for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one will buy you. 29 These are the terms of the covenant the Lord commanded Moses to make with the Israelites in Moab, in addition to the covenant he had made with them at Horeb. 2 Moses summoned all the Israelites and said to them, Your eyes have seen all that the Lord did in Egypt to Pharaoh, to all his officials and to all his land.
I think I need 6
3 With
pieces
your
of
own
manure
eyes
to
you
build
saw
a
those great
fast
trials,
farm.
those
And I'd like to
miraculous
build just those
signs
for
and
now
great
on. So I need to be
wonders.
gathering these in
But to this
rounds
day
of
the
6.
Lord has not given you a mind that understands or eyes that see or ears that hear.
Okay, campfire real quick.
5 During the 40 years
Cool.
that I led you through the desert,
let's cook
your
some stuff.
clothes did not wear out, nor did the sandals on your feet.
Oh my god, I didn't mean to eat those.
6 You ate no bread and drank no wine or other fermented drink. I did this so that you might know that I am the Lord your God. 7 When you reached this place, Sihon king of Heshbon and Og king of Bashan came out to fight against us, but we defeated them. 8 We took their land and gave it as an inheritance to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. 9 Carefully follow the terms of this covenant, so that you may prosper in everything you do. 10 All of you are standing today in the presence of the Lord your God, your leaders and chief men, your elders and officials, and all the
Sometimes
other men of Israel.
the neutral affectation, or
11
just like the
Together
neutral
with your
way that
children and your
the
wives, and the aliens living
the
in your
text to speech
camps who
reads
chop
this,
your wood and
it kind
carry your
of
water.
puts things into perspective how insane some of this writing
12
is.
You are standing.
All of you are standing today in the presence of the Lord, your God, your leader and chief of men, right? If a person says that, it's like, oh, okay, you're saying something heavy. But if you read it with zero tone, all of you are standing today in the presence of the Lord, your God, your leaders and chief men, your elders and officials, and all, like, it just sounds like you're kind of insane. You just sound kind of crazy. You sound honestly, genuinely crazy. Why did I drop those? To what end? Eat the berries. Eat the seeds. And yeah, otherwise we're not making the most optimal progress, but we're getting by.
Standing here in order to enter into a covenant with the Lord your God, a covenant the Lord is making with you this day and sealing with an oath. 13 To confirm you this day as his people, that he may be your God as he promised you and as he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay, so a shovel is a very important tool in this
14
game.
I am making this covenant, with its oath, not only with you. 15 who are standing here with us today in the presence of the Lord our God, but also with those who are not here today. 16 you yourselves know how we lived in Egypt and how we passed through the countries on the way here. 17 you saw among them their detestable images and idols of wood and stone, of
Now, how long
silver
can I
and gold.
reasonably just gather manure for?
18 make sure there is no man or woman, clan or tribe among you today whose heart turns away from the Lord our God to go and worship the gods of those nations. Make sure there is no root among you that produces such bitter poison. 19 when such a person hears the words of this oath, he invokes a
Dig.
blessing
I don't
on
want to dig
himself
that
and
stuff,
therefore
like.
thinks, I will be safe, even though I persist in going my own way. This will bring disaster on the watered land as well as the dry. 20 the Lord will never be willing to forgive him, his wrath and zeal will burn against that man. All the curses written in this book will fall upon him, and the Lord will blot out his name from under heaven.
I need to gather food so I don't die in the
21 The Lord
meantime.
will single him out from all the tribes of Israel for disaster, according to all the curses of the covenant written in this book of the law.
Why is this whole area empty?
22 Your children who follow you in later generations
This is not
and
optimal.
foreigners who come from distant lands will see the calamities that have fallen on the land and the diseases with which the Lord has afflicted it. 23 The whole
A singular
land will be
edible
burning
mushroom?
waste of
Ooh, a
salt and
second
sulfur,
edible
nothing
mushroom.
planted,
A whole
nothing
turkey.
sprouting, no vegetation growing
I hate the
on it.
turkey.
It will be like the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zeboim, which the Lord overthrew in fierce anger. 24 All the nations will ask, why has the Lord done this to this land? Why this fierce, burning anger? 25 And
So
the
what do I
answer
want to
will be,
get? Maybe
"It
like
is because this
24
people
before I
abandoned
leave?
the covenant of the Lord, the God of their fathers, the covenant he made with them when he brought them out of Egypt. 26 They went off and worshipped other gods and bowed down to them, gods they did not know, gods he had not given them. 27 Therefore the Lord's anger burned against this land,
Hey,
so
seeds
that he
will
brought
barely
on it
keep
all
me
the
alive.
curses written in this book. 28 inches furious anger, and in great wrath the Lord uprooted them from their land
Oh.
and thrust them into
Crank
another
thing is
land,
useful, I think.
as it is now.
I can't feel it. Oh,
29
not good.
The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the things revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may follow all the words of
I'm
this
not sure how
law.
important that is. For like different parts of the game,
30
I don't
When
actually
all
know.
these blessings and curses I have set before you come upon you, and you take them to heart wherever the Lord your God disperses you among the nations. 2 And when you and your children return to the Lord your God and obey him with all your heart and with all your soul according to everything I command you today. 3 Then the Lord your God will restore your fortunes and have compassion on you and gather you again from all the nations where he scattered you. For even if you have been banished to the most distant land under the heavens, from there the Lord your God will gather you and bring you back. 5 He will bring you to the land that belonged to your fathers, and you will take possession of it. He will make you more prosperous and numerous than your fathers.
Oh, great.
6
back
The
to this
Lord
issue
your God
again.
will circumcise your hearts and the hearts of your descendants.
I guess I don't really
so
need
that you may
flint for
love
now.
him
Apparently these long-lasting
with all your heart and with all your soul,
thingies
and
are
live.
fine.
7 The Lord your God will put all these curses on your enemies who hate and persecute you. 8 You will again obey the Lord and follow all his
24 would be
commands I am
good.
giving you today.
30. 36 would
9
be like
Then the
peak.
Lord your God will make you most prosperous in all the work of your hands and in the fruit of your womb, the young of your
We're at
livestock and the crops of your land.
21 right now.
The Lord will again delight in you and make you prosperous, just as he delighted in your fathers. 10 If you obey the Lord your God and keep his commands and decrees that are written in this book
Yeah,
of the
crank
law
thing.
and turn to the
Still
Lord
can't
your
carry
God
it,
with
unfortunately.
all your heart and with all your soul.
I'm quite sure what to do
The
about
offer
it.
of life or death.
Why is there a beefalo all the way over
11
there?
Now what I am commanding you today is not too difficult for you or beyond your reach. 12 It is not up in heaven, so that you have to ask, who will ascend into heaven to get it and proclaim it to us so we may obey it? 13 Nor is it beyond the sea, so that you have to ask, who will cross the sea to get it and proclaim it to us so we may obey it? 14 No, the word is very near you, it is in your mouth and in your heart so you may obey it. 15 See, I set before you today life and prosperity, death and destruction.
Dang it, the fire burnt out. Will I have enough items to even build a new
16 For I
fire?
command you today to love the Lord your God,
No, I
to
don't have
walk
enough
in his
grass.
ways,
Okay,
and
do
to
it
keep
again.
his commands, decrees and laws. Then you will live and increase, and the Lord your God will bless you in the land you are entering to possess. 17 But if your heart turns away and you are not obedient, and if you are drawn away to bow down to other gods and worship them. 18 I declare to you this day that you will certainly be destroyed. You will not live long in the land you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess. 19 This day I call heaven and earth as witnesses against you that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live. 20 And that you may love the Lord your God, listen to his voice, and hold fast to him. For the Lord is your life, and he will give you many years in the land he swore to give to your fathers,
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who then became Israel.
31 Then Moses went out and spoke these words to all Israel. 2 I am now 120 years old and I am no longer able to lead you. The Lord has said to me, you shall not cross the Jordan. 3 The Lord your God himself will cross over ahead of you. He will destroy these nations before you, and you will take possession of their land.
Interesting.
Joshua also will cross over ahead of you, as the Lord said. 4 And the Lord will do to them what he did to Sihon
What is
and
this
Og,
beefalo doing,
the kings
dude?
of the Amorites, whom he destroyed along with their land.
Alright, run back.
5
Run!
The Lord will deliver them to you, and you must do to them all that I have commanded you. 6 Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you.
No, don't do
He will
it.
never leave you nor forsake you.
Dumb game.
7 Then
Why would you
Moses
do that?
summoned Joshua and said to him in the presence of all Israel, Be strong and courageous, for you must go with this people into the land
Oh,
the
that
Lord
didn't do
swore to
anything
their
for me.
forefathers to give them,
So
and
that
you
was
must
not food
divide
the
it among
entire
them as
time?
their inheritance. 8 The
Okay, that
Lord
is not
himself
optimal.
goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake
How
you.
much should I have? Just 20 of
Do not be afraid, do
beefalo? 26
not
of
be
beefalo manure.
9 So
Cook the
Moses
seeds.
wrote down this law and
Eat
gave
the
it to the
seeds.
priests, the
Okay.
sons of Levi, who carried the ark of the covenant
I
of
think
the
I'm just gonna
Lord,
have to accept
and
that
to all the
24 is enough
elders of
for now.
Israel. 10 Then Moses commanded them, at the end of every 7 years, in the year for canceling debts, during the Feast of Tabernacles. 11 When all Israel comes to appear before the Lord your God at the place he will choose, you shall read this law before them in their hearing. 12 Assemble the people, men, women and children, and the aliens living in your towns so they can listen and learn to fear the Lord your God and follow carefully all the words of this law. 13 Their children, who do not know this law, must hear it and learn to fear the Lord your God as long as you live in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess. 14 The Lord said to Moses, Now the day of your death
Oh,
is
what are they
near.
angry about?
Call Joshua and present yourselves.
Whoa,
at the
they're
tent of
angry.
meeting,
Yep, not
where
good.
I will commission him. So Moses and Joshua came and presented themselves at the tent of meeting. 15 Then the Lord appeared.
They
at the
turn
tent in
red
pillar
on a
of
certain
cloud,
cycle and
the
become angry,
cloud
I
stood
think.
over the entrance to the tent. 16 And the Lord said to Moses,
He really likes
You
to
are
turn
going
into
to rest with
clouds.
your fathers, and these people will soon prostitute themselves to the foreign gods of the land they are entering. They will forsake me and break the covenant I made with them. 17 On that day I will become angry with them and forsake them, I will hide my face from them, and they will be destroyed. Many disasters and difficulties will come
I got
upon
berries
them,
out of that.
and on that day they will ask, Have not these disasters come upon us because our God is not with us? 18 And I will certainly hide my face on that day because of all their wickedness in turning to other gods. 19 Now write down for yourselves this song and teach it to the Israelites.
Teach
and
a song to
have
the
them sing it,
Israelites
so that it may be
because
a witness for me against them.
Moses is gonna die. They won't have a
20
good
When I
leader.
have brought them into the land flowing with milk and honey, the land I promised on oath to their forefathers, and when they eat their fill and thrive, they will turn to other gods and worship them, rejecting me and breaking my covenant. 21 And when many disasters and difficulties come upon them, this song will testify against them, because it will not be forgotten by their descendants. I know what they are disposed to do, even before I bring them into the land I promised them on oath. 22 So Moses wrote down this song that day and taught it to the Israelites. 23 The Lord gave this command to Joshua son of Nun, Be strong and courageous, for you will bring the Israelites into the land I promised them on oath, and I myself will be with you. 24 After Moses finished writing in a book the words of this law from beginning to end. 25 He gave this command to the Levites who carried the ark of the covenant of the Lord. 26 Take this book of the law and place it beside the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God. There it will remain as a witness against you. 27 For I know how rebellious and stiff-necked you are.
What the hell is this thing?
Against the Lord while I am still alive and with you, how much more will you rebel after I die? 28 Assemble before me all the elders of your tribes and all your officials, so that I can speak these words in their hearing and call heaven and earth to testify against them. 29 For I know that after my death you are sure to become utterly corrupt and to turn from the way I have commanded you. In days to come, disaster will fall upon you because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord and provoke him to anger by what your hands have made. 30 And Moses recited the words of this song from beginning to end in the hearing of the whole assembly of Israel. 32 Listen, O heavens,
Heaven, and I will speak. Hear, earth,
speak,
word of my mouth.
Hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. 2 Let my teaching fall like rain and my words descend like dew, like showers on new grass, like abundant rain on tender plants. 3 I will proclaim the name of the Lord. Oh, praise the greatness of our God. For he is the rock, his works are perfect, and all his ways are just. A faithful God who does no wrong, upright and just is he. 5 They have acted corruptly toward him. To their shame they are no longer his children, but a warped and crooked generation. 6 Is this the way you repay the Lord, O foolish and unwise people? Is he not your Father, your Creator, who made you and formed you? 7 Remember the days of old, consider the generations long past. Ask your father and he will tell you, your elders, and
The shovel finally broke.
8 When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries for the peoples according to the number of the
Popcorn
sons
is
of
what that
Israel.
just made?
9 For the Lord's portion is his people.
That was not much food.
Jacob his allotted inheritance. 10 inches a desert land he found him, in a barren and howling waste. He shielded him and cared for him, he guarded him as the apple of his eye. 11 Like an eagle that stirs up its nest and hovers over its young, that spreads its wings to catch them and carries them on its pinions. 12 The Lord alone led him, no
Bunch
foreign
of
god
grass
led him.
every time and a bunch of rocks.
13 He
Okay.
made him ride on the heights of the land and fed him with the fruit of the fields. He nourished him with honey from the rock, and with oil from the flinty crag. 14 With curds and milk from herd and flock and with fattened lambs and goats, with choice rams of Bashan and the finest kernels of wheat. You
Need a way
drank
to
the
like
foaming
made
blood
seeds,
of the
make
grape.
seeds faster.
15 Jeshurun grew fat and kicked, filled with food, he became heavy and sleek. He abandoned the God who made him and rejected the rock his savior. 16 They made him jealous with their foreign gods
Okay,
and
so I got a
angered
couple
him
over
with
there
their
that I can
detestable
use.
idols. 17 They sacrificed to demons, which are not gods they had not known, gods that recently appeared, gods
Gods your
fathers
father did not fear. Whoa, interesting.
18
So, the main thing is, here's the song. I will king the Lord, okay, this praise. He is the rock, the worker perfect. They have acted corruptly towards him. To their shame, they are no longer warped and crooked generation. Is this the way you repay the Lord? Remember the days of old. In a barren and howling waste, he shielded him and cared for him. He guarded him as the apple of his eye. He made him ride on the heights of the land and fed him with the fruit of the field. He nourished him with honey from the rock and oil from the flinty crag, with curds and milk from herd and flock, with fattened lambs and goats, with choice rams of Bashan. He became heavy and sleek. He abandoned the God who made him. They made him jealous with their foreign gods and angered him with their idols. Demons, huh? Demons is how they're
18,
translating
you deserted
that.
the rock who fathered you. You forgot the God who gave you birth. 19 The Lord saw this and rejected them because he was angered by his sons and daughters. 20 I will hide my face from them, he said, and see what their end will be. For they are a perverse generation, children who are unfaithful. 21 They made me jealous by what is no God and angered me with their worthless idols. I will make them envious by those who are not a people. I will make them angry by a nation that has no understanding. 22 For a fire has been kindled by my wrath, one that burns to the realm of death below. It will devour the earth and its harvests and set afire the foundations of the mountains. 23 I will heap calamities upon them and spend my arrows against them. 24 I will send wasting famine against them, consuming pestilence and deadly plague. I will send against them the fangs of wild beasts, the venom of vipers that glide in the dust. 25 The street the sword will make them childless, in their homes terror will reign. Young men and young women will perish, infants and gray-haired men. 26 I said I would scatter them and blot out their memory from mankind. 27 But I dreaded the taunt of the enemy, lest the adversary misunderstand and say, our hand has triumphed. The Lord has not done all this.
So I need some gold. Oh, have I finally used it all? No, I haven't.
Without sense, there is no discernment in them. 29 If only they were wise and would understand this and discern what their end will be. 30 How could one man chase 1,000, or two put 10,000 to flight, unless their rock had sold them, unless the Lord had given them
I can't make an opulent shovel. I can only make crappy shovels.
31 For their rock is not like our rock, as even our enemies concede. 32 Their vine comes from the vine of Sodom and from the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are filled with poison, and their clusters with bitterness. 33 Their wine is the venom of serpents.
You going, scary shadow thing?
Cobras.
Go away.
34 Have I not kept this in reserve? And
that was horrible. I did not enjoy that.
35 It is mine to avenge, I will repay. In due time their foot will slip. Their day of disaster is near and their doom rushes upon them. 36 The Lord will judge his people and have compassion on his servants when he sees their strength
I just have too many items on me.
Slave or free.
I think I need to make a second chest
37
somehow.
He will say, now where are their gods? The rock
Should
they took
require
refuge in.
making a bunch of boards, 3 sets of boards.
38
I think.
Gods who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings. Let them rise up to help you. Let them give you shelter. 39 See now that I myself am he.
More
there is no
storing
God
those.
besides me.
Cook this.
I put to death and I bring to life.
And
I
then
have
eat
wounded
it.
and I will heal.
Okay.
And no one can deliver out of my hand.
Give me these. Add the tooths.
40 I lift my hand to heaven and declare, as surely as I live forever. 41 When I sharpen my flashing sword and my hand grasps it in judgment, I will take vengeance on my adversaries and repay those who hate me.
Another chest.
42
Wonderful.
I will make my arrows drunk with blood.
Okay,
while my
the
sword
mineral needs to be
devours
stored.
flesh,
The flint
blood
is
of the slain
fine.
and the
More
captives,
rocks, more
the
that,
heads of
more
the enemy
gold.
leaders.
Grass, manure.
43 Rejoice, O
Logs are
nations,
necessary, twigs
with
are
his
necessary,
people, for
grass
he will
is
avenge
necessary.
the blood of his servants. He will take vengeance on his enemies and make atonement for his land and people.
Okay, head this way.
44 Moses came with Joshua son of Nun and spoke all the words of this song in the hearing of the people.
Where is my shovel?
45 When Moses finished reciting all these words to all Israel. 46 He said to them, take to heart all the words I have solemnly declared to you this day, so that you may command your children to obey carefully all the words of this law. 47 They are not just idle words for you, they are your life. By them you will live long in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess. 48 On that same day the Lord told Moses. 49 Go up into the Abiram range to Mount Nebo in Moab, across from Jericho, and view Canaan, the land I am giving the Israelites as their own possession. 50 There on the mountain that you have climbed you will die and be gathered to your people, just as your brother Aaron died on Mount Hor and was gathered to his people. 51 This is because both of you broke faith with me in the presence of the Israelites at the waters of Meribah Kadesh in the desert of Zin, and because you did not uphold my holiness among the Israelites. 52 Therefore, you will see the land only from a distance, you will not enter the land I am giving to the people of Israel. 33 This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, pronounced on the Israelites before his death. 2 He said, the Lord came from Sinai and dawned over them from Seir, he shone forth from Mount Paran. He came with myriads of holy ones from the south, from his mountain slopes. 3 Surely it is you who love the people, all the holy ones are in your hand. At your feet they all bow down, and from you receive instruction. For the law that Moses gave us, the possession of the assembly of Jacob.
Yeah, I've got plenty of those
5
for
He
now.
was king over Jeshurun
I need
when
to
the
just
leaders
focus
of
on
the
food for a
people
second again.
assembled, along with the tribes of Israel. 6 Let Reuben live and not die, nor his men be few. 7 And this he said about Judah, hear, O Lord, the cry of Judah, bring him to his people. With his own hands he defends his cause. Oh, be his help against his foes. 8 About Levi he said, your Thummim and Urim belong to the man you favored. You tested him at Massa, you contended with him at the waters of Meribah. 9 He said of his father and mother, I have no regard for them. He did not recognize his brothers or acknowledge his own children, but he watched over your word and guarded your covenant.
But there was plenty of grass
10
right
He
here.
teaches your precepts to Jacob and your law to Israel. He offers incense before you and whole burnt offerings on your altar.
Oh, I went too far.
11
Not good.
Bless all his
Not
skills,
optimal. Bad.
O Lord, and be pleased with the work of his hands.
Gosh,
Smite
what
the
am I
loins
looking
of
at?
those who
I
rise up
don't
against him.
know what I'm looking at.
Strike
This
his
hurts.
foes till they rise no more.
Okay, go this way.
12 About Benjamin he said, let the beloved of the Lord rest secure in him, for he shields him all day long, and the one the Lord loves rests between his shoulders. 13 About Joseph he said, may the Lord bless his land with the precious dew from heaven above and with the deep waters that lie below. 14 With the best the sun brings forth and the finest the moon can yield. 15 With the choicest gifts of the ancient mountains and the fruitfulness of the everlasting hills. 16 With the best gifts of the earth and its fullness and the favor of him who dwelt in the burning bush. Let all
Basically,
these
I need to
rest
put
on
the
head
seeds
of
into here for
Joseph,
now.
on the brow of the prince among his brothers.
Then I can plant these, sure.
17 inches majesty he is like a firstborn bull, his horns are the horns of a wild ox. With them he will gore the nations, even those at the ends of the earth. Such are the 10,000s of Ephraim, such are the
Manure
thousands of
and
Manasseh.
stone now.
18 About Zebulun he said,
Stone?
rejoice, Zebulun,
Well,
in your
first I
going
should
out,
probably just go
and
plant
you,
these, huh?
Issachar, in your tents. 19 They will summon peoples to the mountain and there offer sacrifices of righteousness. They will feast on the abundance of the seas, on the treasures hidden in the sand. 20 About Gad he said, blessed is he who enlarges Gad's domain. Gad lives there like a lion, tearing at arm or head. 21 He chose the best land for himself, the leader's portion was kept for him. When the heads of the people assembled, he carried out the Lord's righteous will, and his judgments concerning Israel. 22 About Dan he said, Dan is a lion's cub, springing out of Bashan. 23 About Naphtali he said, Naphtali is abounding with the favor of the Lord and is full of his blessing, he will inherit southward to the lake.
Okay,
24
manure,
About Asher he said,
stone.
most blessed of sons is Asher, let him be favored by his brothers, and let him bathe his feet in oil.
rocks, and more manure.
25 The bolts of your gates will be iron and bronze, and your strength will equal your days.
Food,
26 There is no one
one
like the God of
improved
Jeshurun,
farm.
who rides on the heavens to help you and on the clouds in his majesty. 27 The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms.
Can I build another
He will
one,
drive
please?
out your enemy before you, saying, destroy
Oh,
him.
I'm hitting like my minimum for health right now.
28
For
So Israel
hunger.
will live in safety alone. Jacob's spring is secure in a land of grain and new wine, where the heavens drop dew. 29 Blessed are you, O Israel. Who is like you, a people saved by the Lord. He is your shield and helper and your glorious sword. Your enemies will cower before you, and you will trample down their high places. 34 Then Moses climbed Mount Nebo. From the plains of Moab to the top of Pisgah, across from Jericho.
I need more grass
There
again.
the Lord showed him the whole land from Gilead to Dan. To all of Naphtali, the
I do not have
territory of
any.
Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land
Okay.
of Judah as far as the western sea. 3 The Negev and the whole region from the valley of Jericho, the city of palms, as far as Zor. For then the Lord said to him, This is the land I promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob when I said, I will give it to your descendants. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you will not cross
Yeah, I am
over
well
into
and
it.
truly running out of food at this point.
5 And Moses the servant of the Lord died there in Moab, as the Lord had said. 6 He buried him in Moab, in the valley opposite Beth Peor, but to this day no one knows where his grave is. 7 Moses was 120 years old when he died, yet
that's
his
good.
eyes were not weak nor his strength gone. 8 The Israelites grieved for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days.
Joshua
until the time
died,
of
now
weeping and
Moses is
mourning was
dead.
over.
Sorry, Aaron died, now Moses
9
is
Now
dead.
Joshua,
Obviously
son of
Joshua's
Nun,
going to
was
take over
filled with
next.
the spirit of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands on him.
Yep.
So the Israelites listened to him and did what the Lord had commanded Moses. 10 Since then, no prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. 11
No
Who
more
did
of
all
those types of
miraculous
prophets.
signs and wonders the Lord sent him to do in Egypt to Pharaoh and to all his officials and to his whole land. 12 For no one has ever shown the mighty power or performed the awesome deeds that Moses did in the sight of all Israel. Joshua. Everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous
No,
and
no.
successful.
Start me in the correct place. We are now in Joshua. I'd like to get to page 350 in
One
this
after
stream.
the death of Moses the servant.
50 pages per stream is the
Of
pace.
the Lord said to Joshua son of Nun, Moses' aide. 2 Moses my servant is dead. Now then, you and all these people, get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give to them to the Israelites. 3 I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses.
What do I do with this thing?
For your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon, and from the
What do I
great
do with these
river,
terrifying
the
items?
Euphrates,
What
all
do I
the
do with
Hittite
that?
country to the great
That
sea
looks
on the west.
concerning to me.
5 No
My
one will
health
be
is
able
not
to
high.
stand up against you
Oh,
all
okay.
the days of
They're
your
just
life.
going to continue spawning
As
forever,
I
I
was with
think.
Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. 6 Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these
Yeah, I just
people
want them to
inherit
go
the
to
land I
avoid them
swore to
taking
their
over my
forefathers to
area.
give them. 7 Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go.
So go for the eyes is a literal
8
joke.
Do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth.
But I'm super
Meditate
low on
it day
food.
and
I'll
night,
start taking
so
health
that you may
soon.
be careful to do. 9 Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Be gone.
10 So Joshua ordered the officers of the people. 11 Go through the camp and tell the people, get your supplies ready.
Oh,
3
this
days
is
from
not
now you will
good.
cross the
I
Jordan
am
here to
so
go
out of
in and
food.
take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you for your own. 12 But to the Reubenites,
I might die.
the
This might be it.
Gadites,
This might
and
be the furthest I
half-tribe
could
of
get in this
Manasseh,
run.
Joshua said. 13
Looks like all
Remember
the stone
command
stuff
that
I got
Moses
really
the
wasn't
servant
worth
of
it.
the Lord
Like
gave
that
you.
wasn't
The Lord your God is giving
necessary
you
at
rest and
all.
has granted you this land. 14 Your wives, your children, and your livestock may stay in the land that Moses gave you east of the Jordan, but all your fighting men, fully armed, must
Okay, we're
cross
officially
over ahead
going
of your
to
brothers.
do a war with the
You are to
Canaanites or
help your
whatever.
brothers. 15 Until the Lord gives them rest, as he has done for you, and until they too
Seeds.
have taken possession of the land that the Lord your God is giving them.
Highly
After
necessary.
that, you may go back and occupy your own land, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave you east of the Jordan toward the sunrise.
Okay, so it rained.
16
Does that
Then
now
they
mean
answered
my
Joshua,
stuff is
whatever
good?
you have commanded us we will do, and wherever you send us we will go.
Here's something really big.
17
Oh,
just
that
as
is
we
a
fully
bird.
obeyed
Good.
Moses, so we will obey you. Only may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses.
Okay, I'm starting to think that maybe
18
that
Whoever rebels
thing
against
that
your
I
word
didn't
and does
attack,
not obey
maybe I
your
was
words,
supposed to attack
whatever
that
you may
thing.
command them will be put to
No,
death.
ow, see, yeah, that's
Only
like
be
pretty
strong
bad.
and courageous. 2 Then Joshua son of Nun secretly sent 2
Yeah,
spies
that
from
thing
Shittim.
is now officially taking
Go,
over.
look over the land, he
Hit it,
said,
hit it, hit it,
especially
hit it, hit
Jericho.
it. Yeah, I thought
So
so.
they went and entered the house of a prostitute
Wow,
named
okay.
Rahab and stayed there.
Oh my god, I forgot that I get to respawn once in this world.
To the king of Jericho was told, look, some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. 3 So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab, bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land. 4 But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. She said,
This doesn't
yes,
seem good,
the men came to
if
me,
I'm just being
but
honest.
I did not know where they had come from. 5 At
I do hear
dusk,
that.
when it
It's
was time
loud.
to close the city gate, the men left.
Can I like
I
have
don't
my
know.
things back or what?
Which
Why are
way
they in
went.
my stuff?
Go after them quickly. You may catch up with them.
Oh, I died again,
6
huh?
But she
Okay.
had taken them up to the roof and hidden
Yeah,
them
really
under the
not sure what to
stalks
do
of
with that.
flax
I have
she had laid
another
out on
one?
the roof.
Where did I get another one from?
7 So the men set out in
How am I
pursuit
doing
of the
this?
spies on the road that leads to the fords of the Jordan.
I just heard the
and
dog
as soon
bark
as the
though, so is it gonna
pursuers had
come
gone
kill me
out,
over here?
The gate was shut. 8 Before the spies lay down for the night, she went up on the roof.
How far am I from my freaking stuff? Oh,
9
I am
And
far.
said to them, I know that the Lord has given this land to you and that a great fear of you has fallen on
Oh,
us,
carrots.
so that all who live in this country
Good.
are melting in fear because of you. 10 We have heard how the Lord
Okay, but
dried
there's
up
still
the
like a
water
million
the
of those
Red
weird
Sea
eye
for you
things,
when you
right?
came out of
What do I do with
Egypt,
them?
and what you did to Sihon and Og,
I've died
the
3
2
times
kings
and I
of the
still don't know what to do with
Amorites east
them.
of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. 11 When we heard of it, our hearts melted and everyone's courage failed because of you, for the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below. 12 Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign. 13 That you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and that you will save us from death. 14 Inch our lives for your lives, the men assured her. If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land.
Come on, don't do this. Leave me be.
15
Let me
So
survive.
she let them down by a rope through the window, for the house she lived
Why you
in
guys
was
take all
part
my
of the city
stuff?
wall.
What am I supposed to
16
do
Now
with
she
that?
had said to them, Go to
Leave
the
me
hills
alone.
so the pursuers will not find you. Hide yourselves there 3 days
I'm really not sure
until
like
they
what
return,
is supposed to be
and then
done
go on your
here.
way.
I would need a spear for one to
17
kill
The men
this.
said to her, This oath you made us swear will not be binding on us. 18 Unless, when we enter the land, you have tied this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and
Nope, they're
unless
still
you have
coming.
brought your father and mother, your brothers, and all your family
You can
into
just
your
keep
house.
going in a circle, huh? Oh, no, he can get in.
19
Okay,
If
yep,
anyone
he
goes
can in fact get
outside
in.
your house
It's
into
not.
the street,
Yep,
his blood will be on his
I think
own
that's
head.
a
He
wrap.
will not be
Yeah, it is.
responsible.
Frustrating.
As for anyone who is in the house with you, his blood will
Okay.
be on our head if a hand is laid on him. 20 But if you tell what we are doing, we will be released from the oath you made us swear.
Dang.
21 Inch agreed,
Well,
she replied.
It's fine.
Let it be as you say. So she sent them away and they departed. And she tied the scarlet cord in the window.
Well,
22
I'm
When they
gonna
left,
take
they went
a
into the hills
pause in the
and
game
stayed there
then,
3 days, until then.
and just focus in on just reading for a bit until we hit page 350, and just to keep myself up to date on what's going on with Joshua.
Pursuers had searched.
Yeah, I need to restart the past 2 pages, honestly. Yep, I need to listen to Joshua better. I'm going to listen full force and increase
One
the
after
voice
the
speed
death
a
of
fair
Moses
bit.
the servant
I'm also going to start making myself some
of the
food,
Lord. The
so
Lord said
I
to
will be
Joshua, son
away
of
for a
Nun,
moment, but I
Moses'
can
aide,
still hear.
2-inch Moses, my servant, is
How
dead.
long am I going to be streaming?
Now
Only
then,
like
you and
another
all these
hour,
people,
maybe.
get ready
Like
to
half
cross
an
the
hour.
Jordan River into the land I am about to give to them, to the Israelites. 3 I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. For your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon, and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittite country, to the great sea on the west. 5 No one will be able to stand up against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. 6 Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their forefathers to give them. 7 Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. 8 Do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do. 9 Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. 10 So Joshua ordered the officers of the people. 11 Go through the camp and tell the people, get your supplies ready. 3 days from now you will cross the Jordan here to go in and take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you for your own. 12 But to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, Joshua said. 13 Remember the command that Moses the servant of the Lord gave you. The Lord your God is giving you rest and has granted you this land. 14 Your wives, your children, and your livestock may stay in the land that Moses gave you east of the Jordan, but all your fighting men, fully armed, must cross over ahead of your brothers. You are to help your brothers. 15 Until the Lord gives them rest, as he has done for you, and until they too have taken possession of the land that the Lord your God is giving them. After that, you may go back and occupy your own land, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave you east of the Jordan toward the sunrise. 16 Then they answered Joshua, whatever you have commanded us we will do, and wherever you send us we will go. 17 Just as we fully obeyed Moses, so we will obey you. Only may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. 18 Whoever rebels against your word and does not obey your words, whatever you may command them, will be put to death. Only be strong and courageous. 2 Then Joshua son of Nun secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. Go, look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. 2 The king of Jericho was told, look, some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. 3 So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab, bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land. 4 But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. She said, yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they had come from. 5 At dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, the men left. I don't know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may catch up with them. 6 But she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under the stalks of flax she had laid out on the roof. 7 So the men set out in pursuit of the spies on the road that leads to the fords of the Jordan, and as soon as the pursuers had gone out, the gate was shut. 8 Before the spies lay down for the night, she went up on the roof. 9 And said to them, I know that the Lord has given this land to you and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. 10 We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the 2 kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. 11 When we heard of it, our hearts melted and everyone's courage failed because of you, for the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below. 12 Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign. 13 That you will spare the lives of my father and mother,
So
my
a
brothers and
woman
sisters, and all who belong to them,
of the
and that you
kingdom
will
of
save us from death.
Jericho betrayed
14 Each our
Jericho
lives for your lives, the men
in
assured her.
exchange for
If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and
God's
faithfully when
support.
the Lord gives us the land. 15 So she let them down by a rope through the window, for the house she lived in was part of the city wall. 16 Now she had said to them, go to the hills so the pursuers will not find you. Hide yourselves there 3 days until they return, and then go on your way. 17 The men said to her, this oath you made us swear will not be binding on us. 18 Unless, when we enter the land, you have tied this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and unless you have brought your father and mother, your brothers, and all your family into your house. 19 If anyone goes outside your house into the street, his blood will be on his own head, we will not be responsible. As for anyone who is in the house with you, his blood will be on our head if a hand is laid on him. 20 But if you tell what we are doing, we will be released from the oath you made us swear. 21 agreed, she replied. Let it be as you say. So she sent them away and they departed. And she tied the scarlet cord in the window. 22 When they left, they went into the hills and stayed there 3 days, until the pursuers had searched all along the road and returned without finding them. 23 Then the 2 men started back. They went down out of the hills, forded the river and came to Joshua son of Nun and told him everything that had happened to them. 24 They said to Joshua, "The Lord has surely given the whole land into our hands, all the people are melting in fear because of us." 3 Early in the morning Joshua and all the Israelites set out from Shittim and went to the Jordan, where they camped before crossing over. 2 After 3 days the officers went throughout the camp. 3 Giving orders to the people, "When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, who are Levites, carrying it, you are to move out from your positions and follow it. For then you will know which way to go, since you have never been this way before. But keep a distance of about 1,000 yards between you and the ark, do not go near it." 5 Joshua
Wait,
told the
when
people,
did they get the ark out? When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord of your God and the priests who are Levites carrying it, you are to move out from your positions and follow it. They're bringing the ark
"People,
at the front
consecrate
of
yourselves,
the
for
war
tomorrow
attack?
the Lord will do amazing things among you." 6 Joshua said to the priests, "Take up the ark of the covenant and pass on ahead of the people." So they took it up and went ahead of them. 7 And the Lord said to Joshua, "Today I will begin to exalt you in the eyes of all Israel, so they may know that I am with you as I was with Moses." 8 Tell the priests who carry the ark of the covenant, "When you reach the edge of the Jordan's waters, go and stand in the river." 9 Joshua said to the Israelites, "Come here and listen to the words of the Lord your God." 10 This is how you will know that the living God is among you and that he will certainly drive out before you the Canaanites, Hittites, Hivites, Perizzites, Girgashites, Amorites and Jebusites. 11 See, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth will go into the Jordan ahead of you. 12 Now then, choose 12 men from the tribes of Israel, one from each tribe. 13 And as soon as the priests who carry the ark of the Lord of all the earth set foot in the Jordan, its waters flowing downstream will be cut off and stand up in a heap. 14 So when the people broke camp to cross the Jordan, the priests carrying the ark of the covenant went ahead of them. 15 Now the Jordan is at flood stage all during harvest. Yet as soon as the priests who carried the ark reached the Jordan and their feet touched the water's edge. 16 The water from upstream stopped flowing. It piled up in a heap a great distance away, at a town called Adam in the vicinity of Zarethan, while the water flowing down to the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, was completely cut off. So the people crossed over opposite Jericho. 17 The priests who carried the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the middle of the Jordan, while all Israel passed by until the whole nation had completed the crossing on dry ground. For when the whole nation had finished crossing the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, 2 Choose 12 men from among the people, one from each tribe. 3 And tell them to take up 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan from right where the priest stood and to carry them over with you and put them down at the place where you stay tonight. For so Joshua called together the 12 men he had appointed from the Israelites, one from each tribe. 5 And said to them, Go over before the ark of the Lord your God into the middle of the Jordan. Each of you is to take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the Israelites. 6 To serve as a sign among you. In the future, when your children ask you, what do these stones mean? 7 Tell them that the flow of the Jordan was cut off before the ark of the covenant was the Lord. When it crossed the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. These stones are to be a memorial to the people of Israel forever. 8 So the Israelites did as Joshua commanded them. They took 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, according to the number of the tribes of the Israelites, as the Lord had told Joshua, and they carried them over with them to their camp, where they put them down. 9 Joshua set up the 12 stones that had been in the middle of the Jordan at the spot where the priests who carried the ark of the covenant had stood. And they are there to this day. 10 Now the priests who carried the ark remained standing in the middle of the Jordan until everything the Lord had commanded Joshua was done by the people, just as Moses had directed Joshua. The people hurried over. 11 And as soon as all of them had crossed, the ark of the Lord and the priests came to the other side while the people watched. 12 The men of Reuben, Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh crossed over, armed, in front of the Israelites, as Moses had directed them. 13 About 40,000 armed for battle crossed over before the Lord to the plains of Jericho for war. 14 That day the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they revered him all the days of his life, just as they had revered Moses. 15 Then the Lord said to Joshua, 16 Command the priests carrying the ark of the testimony to come up out of the Jordan. 17 So Joshua commanded the priests, Come up out of the Jordan. 18 And the priests came up out of the river carrying the ark of the covenant of the Lord. No sooner had they set their feet on the dry ground than the waters of the Jordan returned to their place and ran at flood stage as before. 19 On the 10th day of the first month the people went up from the Jordan and camped at Gilgal on the eastern border of Jericho. 20 And Joshua set up at Gilgal the 12 stones they had taken out of the Jordan.
You know what I can do while I'm in like reading mode? I could probably
ask their fathers, what do these stones mean? 22 Tell them, Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground.
I can do this.
23 For the Lord your God dried up the Jordan before you until you had crossed over. The Lord your God did to the Jordan just what he had done to the Red Sea when he dried it up before us until we had crossed over. 24 He did this so that all the peoples of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful and so that you might always fear the Lord your God. 5 Now when all the Amorite kings west Of the Jordan, and all the Canaanite kings along the coast heard how the Lord had dried up the Jordan before the Israelites until we had crossed over. Their hearts melted, and they no longer had the courage to face the Israelites. 2. At that time the Lord said to Joshua, make flint knives and circumcise the Israelites again. 3. So Joshua made flint knives and circumcised the Israelites at Gibeath Haraloth. For now this is why he did so. All those who came out of Egypt,
Circumcise them again? What do you mean?
died in the desert on the way after leaving Egypt. 5. All the people that
people
came out
in the desert had not been. Oh, they hadn't been for a while.
Egypt had not. 6. The Israelites had moved about in the desert 40 years until all the men who were of military age when they left Egypt had died, since they had not obeyed the Lord. For the Lord had sworn to them that they would not see the land that he had solemnly promised their fathers to give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. 7. So he raised up their sons in their place, and these were the ones Joshua circumcised. They were still uncircumcised because they had not been circumcised on the way. 8. And after the whole nation had been circumcised, they remained where they were in camp until they were healed. 9. Then the Lord said to Joshua, today I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt from you. So the place has been called Gilgal to this day.
Gilgal.
10. On the evening of the 14th day of the month, while camped at Gilgal on the plains of Jericho, the Israelites celebrated the Passover. 11. The day after the Passover, that very day, they ate some of the produce of the land, unleavened bread and roasted grain.
Oh, I'm finally going to Google like what
12.
unleavened bread
The day
means.
after they ate this food from the land, there was no longer any manna for the Israelites, but that year they ate of the produce of Canaan. 13. Now when Joshua
Like
was near
flatbread?
Jericho, he looked up and saw a man standing in front of him with a drawn sword in his hand. Joshua went up to him and asked, are you for us or for our enemies? 14. Neither, he replied, but as commander of the army of the Lord I have now come. Then Joshua fell face down to the ground in reverence, and asked him,
An angel?
what message does my Lord have for his servant?
Oh, an angel, essentially.
15. The commander of the Lord's army replied, take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing
is holy. Okay.
And Joshua did so. 6. Now Jericho was tightly shut up because of the Israelites. No one went out and no one came in.
I'm going to pause for a second. I'm Googling what unleavened bread is in the meantime. Is a wide variety of breads which are prepared without raising agents. I get that. So it's not going to have that nice bubbly texture that normal bread does when it's raised. Cooked grain foods. So yeah, no yeast, no sodium bicarbonate to give you carbon dioxide to give it the holes. Flatbreads, tortillas, roti. What is a roti? Round flatbread from India. Symbolic importance in Judaism. Jews and Christians consume unleavened bread such as matzah. Okay, matzah is probably the modern version during Passover. Okay. All right, what is matzah? It's it just kind of looks like, yeah, it looks like a big cracker, but I guess it's soft. Does it taste good though? How does it taste? It's kosher for Passover. Matzah and maror from Exodus specifically. But does it taste good? As a Passover setter, simple matzah is made of flour and water is mandatory for all. The flour must be ground from one of the 5 grains specified in Jewish law, which is wheat, barley, spelt, rye, or oat. Ashkenazic, but not Sephardi tradition. Wow, when I read the Torah, my brain is going to break. Requires that the matzah made with the addition of wine, fruit juice, onion, garlic may not be used during the Passover festival. I think the next document I'm going to read is actually going to be... I don't think it should be the Torah or the Quran because I'll get so bored of just realizing that they're the exact same thing. It might be good for me to, I don't know, should I read them back to back so that way I'm really good at making comparisons at the risk of being extremely bored, or should I jump to a Hindu text or a Buddhist text? Again, I don't even know if those exist, but okay. So simple matzah. Some traditions require that it be made with the addition of wine, fruit juice, onion, garlic. May not be used during Passover festival except by the elderly or unwell. Okay. How's it taste though? Is it okay? Like, does it taste good? I think it just tastes like a flatbread.
2 Then the Lord said to Joshua,
Okay.
See, I have delivered Jericho into your hands, along with its king and its fighting men. March third around the city once with all the armed men. Do this for 6 days. 4 Have 7 priests carry trumpets of ram's horns in front of the ark. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times, with the priests blowing the trumpets. 5 When you hear them sound a long blast on the trumpets, have all the people give a loud shout, then the wall of the city will collapse and the people will go up, every man straight in. 6 So Joshua son of Nun called the priests and said to them, Take up the ark of the covenant of the Lord and have 7 priests carry trumpets in front of it. 7 And he ordered the people, Advance. March around the city, with the armed guard going ahead of the ark of the Lord. 8 When Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 priests carrying the 7...
Yeah, I'm doing more learning. I know that there's about to be like a terrible bloody war, but I Googled real quick which Christian denominations use which versions of the Bible typically, and I want to know which ones are using this version, the New International Version. Many evangelical and Protestant churches have adopted the NIV as their primary translation. Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, and Presbyterian. Hey, I was raised Presbyterian, so technically I'm reading the modern one. I know it wasn't popular 20 years ago, but it's popular now. Many prominent evangelical leaders, such as Billy Graham and Rick Warren, isn't Billy Graham like a terrible grifter, scam, televangelist? No? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I'm sorry. It says he's just an evangelist, a televangelist. I just assume if you do that, you're a terrible person. I'll put that on display. Clear and concise language, balance between literal accuracy and readability. Okay. What Bible translations do different denominations use? There are dozens of different Bible translations, like the New International Version. The old King James Version is the one I grew up on. Who was using what nowadays? Okay, 31% of the time it's the New English Version. 23% of the time it's the the King James Version. I mean, they're all just slightly different translations of the same concepts. Okay, back to reading.
7 trumpets before the Lord went forward, blowing their trumpets, and the ark of the Lord's covenant followed them. 9 The armed guard marched ahead of the priests who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard followed the ark. All this time the trumpets were sounding. 10 But Joshua had commanded the people, Do not give a war cry, do not raise your voices, do not say a word until the day I tell you to shout. Then shout. 11 So he had the ark of the Lord carried around the city, circling it once. Then the people returned to camp and spent the night there.
Hey, they're
12
scaring
Joshua got up early the next morning, and the priests
Jericho
took up the ark
people?
of the Lord. 13 The 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets went forward, marching before the ark of the Lord and blowing the trumpets. The armed men went ahead of them and the rear guard followed the ark of the Lord, while the trumpets kept sounding. 14 So on the 2nd day they marched around the city once and returned to the camp. They did this for 6 days. 15 On the
6
7th day,
days.
they got up at daybreak and marched around the city 7 times in the same manner, except that on that day they circled the city 7 times. 16 The 7th time around, when the priests sounded the trumpet blast, Joshua commanded the people, Shout, for the Lord has given you the city.
Oh, okay.
17 The city and all that is in it are to be devoted to the Lord. Only Rahab the prostitute and all who are with her in her house shall be spared, because she hid the spies we sent.
Oh, she's a prostitute.
18 But keep away from the devoted things, so that you will not bring about your own destruction by taking any of them. Otherwise you will make the camp of Israel liable to destruction and bring trouble on it. 19 All the silver and gold and the articles of bronze and iron are sacred to the Lord and must go into his treasury. 20 When the trumpet sounded, the people shouted, and at the sound of the trumpet, when the people gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed, so every man charged straight in, and they took the city.
The wall just auto-collapsed.
21 They devoted the city to the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men and women, young and old, cattle, sheep and donkeys.
So again, like genocide.
22 Joshua said to the 2 men who had spied out the land, Go into the prostitute's house and bring her out and all who belong to her, in accordance with your oath to her. 23 So the young men who had done the spying went in and brought out Rahab, her father and mother and brothers and all who belonged to her. They brought out her entire family and put them in a place outside the camp of Israel. 24 Then they burned the whole city and everything in it, but they put the silver and gold and the articles of bronze.
Make sure I'm not killing the word genocide. I just Googled the Wikipedia definition of it. Genocide is the partial or total destruction of a human group committed intentionally. The popular view conceives of genocide as the large-scale killing of individuals, but in scholarly and legal fields, genocide occurs when the group itself is targeted. Acts of genocide include killing as well as non-lethal actions. I mean, by definition, they're genociding the nation of Jericho and its people, the Jerican people or whatever they are. So there's just lots of genociding in the Bible. And now it's like, oh, I kind of get why Christian nationalists and extremists are so pro-genocide, because the Bible like encourages it, supports it, and defends it.
Bronze and iron into the treasury of the Lord's house. 25. But Joshua spared Rahab the prostitute with her family.
I'm just saying, if I were writing a book to give people morality, I don't think I would make this part of it. You know what I mean?
26. At that time Joshua pronounced this solemn oath: Cursed before the Lord is the man who undertakes to rebuild the city, Jericho. At the cost of his firstborn son will he lay its foundations, at the cost of his youngest will he set up its gates. 27. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread throughout the land. 7. But the Israelites acted unfaithfully in regard to the devoted things. Achan son of Carmi, the son of Zimri, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took some of them. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel. 2. Now Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is near Beth-aven to the east of Bethel, and told them, Go up and spy out the region. So the men went up and spied out Ai. 3. When they returned to Joshua, they said, Not all the people will have to go up against Ai. Send 2,000 or 3,000 men to take it, and do not weary all the people, for only a few men are there. For so about 3,000 men went up, but they were routed by the men of Ai. 5. Who killed about 36 of them. They chased the Israelites from the city gate as far as the stone quarries and struck them down on the slopes. At this the hearts of the people melted and became like water. 6. Then Joshua tore his clothes and fell face down to the ground before the ark of the Lord, remaining there till evening. The elders of Israel did the same, and sprinkled dust on their heads. 7. And Joshua said, Ah, sovereign Lord, why did you ever bring this people across the Jordan to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us? If only we had been content to stay on the other side of the Jordan. 8. Oh, Lord, what can I say, now that Israel has been routed by its enemies? 9. The Canaanites and the other people of the country will hear about this, and they will surround us and wipe out our name from the earth. What then will you do for your own great name? 10. The Lord said to Joshua, Stand up. What are you doing down on your face? 11. Israel has sinned, they have violated my covenant, which I commanded them to keep. They have taken some of the devoted things, they have stolen, they have lied, they have put them with their own possessions. 12. That is why the Israelites cannot stand against their enemies, they turn their backs and run because they have been made liable to destruction. I will not be with you anymore unless you destroy whatever among you is devoted to destruction. 13. Go, consecrate the people. Tell them, consecrate yourselves in preparation for tomorrow, for this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says, that which is devoted is among you, O Israel. You cannot stand against your enemies until you remove it. 14. In the morning, present yourselves tribe by tribe. The tribe that the Lord takes shall come forward clan by clan. The clan that the Lord takes shall come forward.
My food is not unleavened bread, though. Next time I'm in the store, I'm going to try to buy some.
15. He who is caught with the devoted thing shall be destroyed by fire, along with all that belongs to him. He has violated the covenant of the Lord and has done a disgraceful thing in Israel.
And I think
16. Early the next morning Joshua had Israel come forward by tribes, and
the
Judah
page I want to by now, have I? 339. I think I'll call it there and be content. I'm always a little bit behind perfect intervals of 50, but I think this is good enough. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there, or we'll keep doing... It looks like we're going to do 2-hour streams each time, something like that. I'm sure someday I'll randomly do like a longer one or a really short one, but it looks like that's about the attention span I have, is about 2 hours of reading a day, every other day, or whenever it happens. Cool. All right, more progress. Page 339.